Debate about spending, including more funding for the COVID fight and Ukraine.
Once the president makes his request to Congress, approving additional aid for Ukraine will be a must. I expect both sides to work with swift bipartisan cooperation to get it done.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer also highlighting the continued struggles with inflation while criticizing oil companies over gas prices, suggesting their priority is rewarding executives instead of helping families. Industry officials and Republican lawmakers criticized the president's energy policies. Inflation concerns, part of what's weighing down stocks. Right now, the Dow's down 466. America is listening to Fox News.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything it has at you. And to succeed, you need someone to guide you through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice to help you navigate whatever challenges you're up against and get you safely to where you want to be. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEW.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty across town on this Tuesday afternoon. Lots of sunshine this afternoon, but our temperatures are quite cool for late April. 59, 60 for the high. Tonight, clear, cold, spotty frost away from the city. 39 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny and 70 in the afternoon. It's obviously a chilly start Wednesday morning. Thursday, partly sunny, showers moving back in late Thursday with a high of 68. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Come hang out with all of us at 97.1 May 4th.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
And so will I.
Along with some of the top thought leaders in the nation.
This is Hans von Spakowski from the Heritage Foundation. Looking forward to it.
This is Jim Carafano, and we are coming to see you in 97.1 Land.
It's a full 97.1 event, along with Heritage, and you're invited. May 4th at 7 at the Elks Lodge in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's all free. Let us know you're coming at 971talk.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint, formulated to outsmart the elements. Expect more from an exterior coating with Rhino Shield. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, mold or mildew. Premium protection from whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Our home exterior coatings intelligently designed to stand up to Mother Nature. We're driven by the uncompromising commitment to coat your home in quality. Experience the Rhino Shield difference. We've been changing the expectation of exterior coatings for decades, one home, business, church, condo at a time. Maintain your architectural features. Regular paint is an expense that never ends. The decision to do vinyl will leave you with a plastic moldy box. Paint a house, shield your home. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. You know what we did there. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
It's amazing how often this administration is wrong on every issue. On Title 42, on inflation, they call it transitory. Then they call it Putin's fault, right? On crime, they say, well, it's because Republicans didn't support Build Back Better, and that's why now you're seeing these rates go up. No. On education, they take the side of teachers' unions over parents. No. On the border, they blame Donald Trump, as you just said before, and he was trying to build a wall that's not going to work, and we were given a broken system. No. So every time they're wrong, and now on Title 42, their own party, again, is revolting against them.
Yes.
And it's just going to lead to another black eye for an administration that looks like Rocky at the end of Rocky IV.
End of Rocky IV. Joe Concha, our friend there today on Fox News, laying it out there about this administration, the challenges it has faced, and really the shock of batting 1,000 of doing it wrong. It's really something to behold. And if you're somebody who lives in the world of I told you so's, you've probably your throat is sore from saying I told you so incredibly much. I don't like to say I told you so. I was talking about this, not this particular issue with Brad the other day, but I said you were talking about giving people compliments.
Yes. And
I said, and you were talking about, what were you practicing?
Trying to give compliments because I don't want to sound weird when I give them.
If anybody has an advice for Brad, how long have you been working on this?
My whole life.
Your whole life. And
Yes.
I mean, if you know Brad, to know Brad is to know that his intentions are always 100% the very best. You're like the sweetest person ever, but you're working on this, whatever. I said, I'm not really the type of person who likes compliments. I'm more of a scoreboard type of girl, which is like, if the score says it's in my favor, that's all that I need really for me. I don't need to be reminded of it over and over again. I just want to forge ahead and make the scoreboard stay in my favor. And there is nothing in favor of this administration right now. Brad, you can put the best construction on pretty much anything. If anybody can do it, it's you, Brad. Take it away.
No, there's no good construction on this. You can't take a dumpster fire and be like, hey, look, it's actually a
He
birthday
said
cake.
You can't take a dumpster fire. And I was like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, you can't make it say, look, no, it's just like a birthday cake and it's got candles on top of it. No, it's a dumpster fire. It's a tire fire, that burns in perpetuity.
It smells.
And stinks. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you like the smell of burning rubber?
No. Well,
you do.
Wait, yeah, not from like fire, but from
spinning your tires.
Spinning your tires, yes.
In the church parking lot.
Yeah. A lot.
When it snows. I am in awe of it. And, everything that they touch It's the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything they touch, what did Trump say? Everything woke turns to badness.
Badness.
Poo.
Yeah.
And it's happening. And I keep hearing story after story, issue after issue, where somebody out of somewhere is stepping into the fray and making a point where I feel like it's like I feel like I'm being gaslighted, because what was it, the head of this, was it the CIA who recently stepped up and said violence against law enforcement is out of control? And I'm like, I know. What have we been saying?
You feel kind of like John McClane.
You led an entire year of protests against anybody, an assault on the idea of the uniform. You boiled down people who put a gun on their hip when they go to work to shoot somebody before they get shot at, or before that the violent criminal shoots somebody else who's innocent. People leave their husbands and their wives on a regular basis. Their parents know that they're going into these dangerous situations on a regular basis. And it doesn't matter if you are working in St. Charles, or if you're working in North City, or if you're working in East St. Louis, or if you're working in O'Fallon, Illinois. It doesn't matter where you go. Every single person who elects to put that uniform on is putting themselves in the line of danger, knowingly, willfully. Why? Well, you'd have to assume that they have told themselves that somebody needs to do it, and it might as well be them. It's the same thing with our military. People who see a need and say, why not me? When the rest of us say, God, I hope somebody who is capable steps into this position and takes on this responsibility, because we have nothing without order. Now, there's shock that there's so much violence against the people who put these uniforms on every day. Like, come on. Are you kidding me? We know. Where have you been? Yeah. What have you been paying attention to? We've been burning down some of our greatest cities because we wanted to give people, I will quote the mayor of Baltimore, room to destroy. And in the midst of destroying the infrastructure that is in their literal own backyards, what is anybody getting out of this? And if you're going to say you can be destructive here, you can challenge the order of things in this area. I mean, is permitted destruction really destruction? I mean, it's like telling a kid you can have a timeout, but you got to do it in the corner. That's not freedom. It's childish. Elon Musk goes to purchase Twitter. And I don't really feel, I was going in and out of Twitter yesterday. Follow us at Andy Frey Show on Twitter, FRUI. That's how you spell Fry. That sounds like it rhymes, but it didn't mean it to. I felt like I wasn't getting the full weight of what was going on Twitter. And I put this out there because I have muted so many of you. I mean, if somebody comes onto my Twitter timeline, if I share something or if I make a statement, if they come onto my Twitter timeline to assault me through tweets, I got zero time for that. It's so simple. You just mute them. And I don't see these people, but I kind of want to know what they have to say today. How's it going? What's anything new? What's going on out there? Twitter's feeling a little roomier. My elbows, my legs, I can stretch out. And it's the funniest thing about Twitter yesterday afternoon and evening was everybody tweeting things that they were afraid to tweet on Sunday.
Oh my gosh. I saw some ones that I was like, holy cow, yeah, you're going all in.
Yeah. I think in the last day to 36 hours or so, I'm working on adding over 200 followers, which, I mean, I have, what is like 13,000 followers or something like that. I'm not 100% sure how many I have, but I have a good following. I'm happy. I love all of you. Well, most of you. The ones I've muted. I mean, I kind of love you for paying so much attention to somebody who's not paying attention back. But I don't have a huge following. But all of a sudden, there's been a rapid surge in notifications that I'm getting. Yeah. Holy cow. So I'm almost up to, I'm over 14,300, whatever right now. And I just recently went over 14,000. So they've come in rapidly, at least from my teeny tiny corner of Twitter. And I wonder how many people are returning to Twitter to see what's going on. But I also wonder how many people are, if there's actually been an algorithm change in the last week or so since Elon Musk first made this foray into trying to take over Twitter. I am so floored by the way people are handling this, the usual suspects. And I am certain if you've been paying any attention to anything in the last 12 to 15 hours, you've heard this clip, but I have to play it for you because it is jaw-droppingly stupid every time I hear it. Ari Melber of MSNBC is having a hard go at this whole Twitter changing hand things because there's a great concern now. And you know, Ari wants you to understand that there's something here that could happen that you have no idea.
Own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else. And the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election. Elon Musk says this is all to help people because he is just a free speech, philosophically clear, open-minded helper.
The best line I saw on that.
Ari.
Somebody said that's like watching a 42-year-old toddler learn how to walk.
Did you edit cut 11 from TikTok?
Yes, I did.
Did you edit it very well?
Yes.
You know where the dump button is?
Yes.
All right. This is a special one. I saw this last night.
So Elon Musk just bought Twitter. That means that hate speech is going to be allowed to thrive.
Oh.
So I just deleted my profile. Now I'm urging all of you to do the same. We need to make the hashtag boycott Twitter trend on here. It needs to become a thing because it's going to become a cesspool of hate. That's all it's going to turn into.
It was so loving before, and now it's just hateful. You didn't even know. I used to go there for good feelings.
He must be new.
Oh, but what about Brian Stelter?
If you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party?
Yes.
Or are you going to decide to
Where
stay
is
home?
it?
And that's a question for Twitter users.
Take me there
Some
now.
Twitter users might love the idea.
Yes.
There's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that.
I'm taking it really hard. These people. More Stelter.
He's all about freedom of speech. The question is, how do you balance that with regulating hate speech and misinformation?
And I think he's about to experience an extraordinary education in the complexities of that very topic. Elon Musk has pursued this. People thought maybe he's just buying it as a plaything, didn't know how serious he was. Now he's obviously very serious. He's committed his capital to it.
Now?
He wants to build this business.
Serious
but I don't
before.
think he has, based on his public statements, it's clear he has a very little understanding of the complexities that go into content moderation and hate speech policies and the like. So he's about to learn how it works, and it might be a whole lot more complicated than he realizes.
So that first clip where Brian Stelter is talking about like who wants to be invited to this party or whatever. Yesterday, I retweeted that. It was from his.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know if it was from his
You
account.
tagged him in it.
I did. I boldly just added Brian Stelter and I said, someone get Brian Stelter's party hat. And I used a picture from what I understand to be Star Trek.
Yes.
And who's the Klingon?
It was Worf.
Worf! I remember that. Sorry, Dad. They're Data and somebody else are who's the second in command?
I don't know. I don't
Riker.
know. Riker. Okay, there you go.
Riker is slowly putting a party hat on Worf, the Klingon of Star Trek. He's like super serious. And Brian Stelter liked the tweet. I was Jared was telling me, my husband was telling me something and it was like kind of serious. And I had my phone open and then all of a sudden on my phone it was Brian Stelter liked your tweet. And I go, what? And I looked and I was like, Does he get it? Was it? I mean, it's really funny. The GIF was really funny.
Yeah.
So that was new. Didn't see that coming. Guys, enjoy this moment. It's gonna get crazy here. If what we anticipate Elon Musk to do, opening things up and getting in there and seeing how Twitter has been behaving, if that is exposed, he seems to be very invested in transparency. And I have a feeling that if he sees what we expect him to see, and he has this information, if he makes that transparent, then everybody's going to pivot to the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the TikToks, or the whatever else is out there, the Instagrams probably as a property of Facebook, and say, are you guys doing this? This is a huge deal and really funny. It's hilarious. They're having such a hard time. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to speak with Congressman Rodney Davis. Hasn't been on the show for a while, so we're excited to have him back with us to talk, get a little reaction about, hey, what's Twitter going to be like now that it's not being run by the oligarchs in Silicon Valley? And how does this help truth get from point A to point B without all the muddling and laundering that the lefties like to do with it? And if that's the case, he keeps talking to us about oversight in a Republican Congress with Hunter Biden information that continues to come out every day. Ooh, lots to talk about with Congressman Davis in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Game of love was already there. So come on, baby, come on over. Let me be the one to hold.
97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. igotfloored.com, super easy to use website that's going to give you the layout of, like, literal layout of what your flooring could look like in your home and all of the different options that they have for you to peruse, including the Mohawk Smart Strand carpeting line. If you're looking to put carpet into your home, to replace carpet in your home, there's nothing better than that Mohawk Smart Strand for use for a variety of issues. If you've got pets, if you have allergies and you need to make sure that you have an ultra clean carpet, easy to clean, easy to stay clean carpet, it's that Mohawk Smart Strand. When you go with Michael's Flooring Outlet, you are going to get the very best customer sales staff in the business, a locally owned flooring outlet here who has been serving the people of St. Louis on both sides of the river for over a quarter century. Great quality and great value. Michael's Flooring Outlet, easy to find in any one of their 3 locations in Darien Prairie, in St. Charles County, and in West County. Online at igotfloored.com.
Join Odyssey and find your one thing as we count down to Earth Day. Leave CFLs on if you will be out of the room for less than 15 minutes to maximize bulb life. Otherwise, turn it off. One Thing is brought to you by Imperfect Foods. Get more sustainable groceries at imperfectfoods.com today.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
At Closet Factory, our designs are as unique as your needs. Let us create the closet or storage system of your dreams. I'm Cassie Alsbach from Closet Factory. We're a family-owned business and the most trusted custom closet provider in St. Louis. We offer an unlimited product range to fit any area of your home. At Closet Factory, we help organize your life with custom storage that's designed and built around you. Go to closetfactory.com or call us at 314-961-4300 to schedule your free design consultation and explore the art of organization.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
KFTK time is
time for an $89 AC tune-up.
SherryKelly.com. far away.
You just want an even playing field. If somebody says something about you, you want the ability to respond. What I find happens, there's people, I'll make up a name, Julia Hack. There's people like this, they'll throw shots at you. And when you respond on Twitter, they have an army of bots, people who say harassment, 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 and they get you banned. So they throw all the arrows. And if you respond in kind once or defend yourself, you get banned or you get in trouble.
Dave Portnoy on Tucker Carlson last night, speaking about what we all know to be true. It's just not a level playing field out there in social media right now. And if you're somebody who is, let's say, like me, and you have a point you want to make, you got to make sure that you make it in a way that nobody is going to construe as the absolute worst construction without any understanding of context or intent, because they are out there to destroy you and they have the power, the weapons in the structure in order to do it. Or at least on Twitter they did, until Elon Musk bought Twitter yesterday. I want to talk about this and some other things as well here with our Congressman Rodney Davis, my current congressman in the 13th District of Illinois, and running now in the primary for the 15th District because the Democrats did their thing and moved him out of the 13th. Congressman, welcome back to the show. Great to have you here.
Hey, it's great to be on, Annie. What a difference a day makes.
Yeah, just give me your reaction to the whole thing when you found out Elon Musk officially purchased Twitter. What were your thoughts?
My thoughts were, wow, he really did it. And I bet you the Twitter board of directors and their attorneys were jumping through hoops trying to figure out a way to block it. I kind of chuckled a little bit. I kept thinking back to like Richard Gere and Pretty Woman, with Jason Alexander sitting there, how are we going to take over this company? But he did it, and I certainly hope he lives up to his free speech comments already.
Yeah, I do too. I think that there's a lot of excitement from somebody like me, likely you as well, looking to see what Elon Musk does next. But he does have to make good on his promise to level the playing field and to welcome speech as opposed to suppressing it. And I'm hoping that he does it. Let me ask you this. You've talked about how if the Republicans are able to take Congress, especially the House, where you hope to be serving again after the midterm elections in November, that the story is going to be oversight. And there is a whole host of things right now that need oversight in our federal government, including the president and his family and what we're learning each and every day through the Hunter Biden laptop and such. What is your thought on where this Republican Congress is going to take a likely majority once they're installed in January?
Well, I agree. I think we're going to take the majority, Annie, and I'm excited to be able to exercise our oversight responsibility once again. That's our job in Congress. That's our job in the House. And I think you'll see our committees of jurisdiction, like in the case of the Hunter Biden laptop. I think you'll see Jamie Comer as chair of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee really dig in and ask for answers. And the Energy and Commerce Committee, chaired by Kathy McMorris Rogers, is going to be able to ask some of the tech companies, why did you stop anyone from discussing what has now been it's true. The Hunter Biden laptop story is 100% true. Why did you stop any discussion before the election on that? And, was it right to pick one political party over the other? Jim Jordan is chair of our Judiciary Committee. He's going to be able to dig into this Hunter Biden story too. The committee that I'll chair, House Administration, we're going to get to the bottom of the security failures leading up to and on January 6th to make sure those failures never happen again.
Yeah, Congressman Davis, I'm glad you brought up the January 6th thing. The only time I really ever hear anybody talking about January 6th is in two circumstances. The first being something from CNN or MSNBC, people who are squarely focused on that because it seems like it's the last straw for them. It's the only thing they have left. And then the other thing is there are people who are sitting in prison right now who have continued to have their court cases delayed and delayed and delayed. Some haven't even, as I understand it, been charged with the crime. What's your focus on January 6th when you know that there are people who are waiting a fast and speedy trial who haven't received it quite yet? And we see the likes of, Nancy Pelosi and her crew trying to get to the politics of it on their favorable news networks.
If somebody has not been charged with a crime and is sitting in jail, that is wrong. That's wrong for any American. I don't care what alleged crime you have not yet been charged for. You should not be sitting in jail if that happens, because it's the prosecutor's job to charge somebody before they sit in jail. What my job's going to be is getting to the bottom of why the security lapses in and around the Capitol happened before that day, and they've happened since that day. That's my committee's jurisdiction. That's my job. I was briefed on January 5th, and nothing in that briefing from the Capitol Police led me to believe I would witness what we saw on January 6th. So clearly, there was something not right. We've seen since then from Inspector General reports. We've seen from other investigations in the Senate, not this sham circus that we call the Select Committee that I didn't support. But what we've seen is that intelligence was given to the Capitol Police. It was not acted on. I want to know why. I want to make sure that our brave men and women in the Capitol Police that saved me on a baseball field a few years ago and saved many of my colleagues, I want to know why they were put in such a terrible situation that day. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And there will be prosecutions if any information is destroyed by the current majority or by those who are in charge right now.
You know, we've seen the leader McCarthy talking about efforts that he wants to make specifically on the southern border. We saw the loss of the Texas National Guard, Bishop Davis, I think was his name. If my memory serves me right, he's 22 years old, tried to save a couple people who were trying to cross the river, and he drowned. We heard from the administration, their reaction to it. They said that they're very sorry about the loss, but that Jen Psaki's actual words were that she wanted to remind everybody that the person was the employee of the state, not of the federal government. That is just jaw-droppingly awful for her to say something like that. The southern border is under siege. The federal the Biden administration doesn't seem to be doing anything about this. And from what we understand, Leader McCarthy is looking to do something about it with potential impeachment of cabinet members. What are your thoughts on that course of action to secure our southern border?
Well, we've got to do something with the southern border. I don't know what the right action is, and I'm more than willing to sit down and talk with my colleagues to find out what that is. But any action is going to have to be better than the inaction of the Biden administration. I mean, look at Jen Psaki. Oh, my Lord. I mean, what an elitist attitude that she has exhibited that's actually – she's been able to parlay into a better job coming up to be a high-paid pundit on cable TV. We have a crisis at our border that the Biden administration continues to turn its back on, and just to see the devastation of the devastation of what's happening in Texas right now, where I've been, is something that has to change. My heart goes out to the family of that National Guardsman who jumped in to try and save migrants and lost his own life. And later, of course, we found out those migrants were drug dealers. But it epitomizes the problem of the border. The drug cartels traffic humans across one spot on the border. The drugs come across another and ravage our communities in Illinois and in Missouri and throughout the rest of the country.
Talk to me a little bit about Illinois being in the heartland here in the United States, pretty far away from that southern border, but yet these issues do still permeate the land of Lincoln, certainly here in the state of Missouri as well. How is it that the state officials are addressing these issues and making sure that the people of Illinois are safe and secure?
Well, I'm no fan of Governor Pritzker's leadership. As a matter of fact, he and the Democrats who have supermajorities in Springfield have decided to provide free health care to illegal immigrants who are coming into Illinois when Illinoisans can't get access to those same benefits. It's wrong. It's just utter nonsense. And what it does is it helps encourage more illegal immigration across our southern border. But it's the drugs too that are ravaging our communities. Remember, we have to sign our life away to buy Sudafed at a pharmacy. Why? Because Sudafed used to be a precursor for cooking methamphetamine. Well, now we don't see cooking of methamphetamine in Illinois or in Missouri as much anymore because it's coming across the southern border, because it's being trafficked by the drug cartels into our communities. We see an increase in usage, but we don't see an increase in manufacturing. But at the same time, our leaders in Illinois and in the White House turn a blind eye to what's happening. And unfortunately, they encourage more trafficking of illegal drugs into our communities.
Congressman Rodney Davis with us right now. He is the current congressman for the 13th District of Illinois, running in the Republican primary for the 15th District, which is the district he was drawn into. I want to ask you real quick about the city of Chicago. And you know, downstate here, Chicago, at least in a political conversation, is usually kind of a bad word. But it's a great city, and it's being destroyed. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot is, in the Olympics for gold medal for worst mayor in the country. And the city is being ravaged. You on Michigan Avenue to shop, and it's like the wild, wild west. And it's so sad to see this beautiful city, the third largest city in the country, just degrading into what I would call a liberal disaster. I'm curious if you think that an awakening this November across the state, but also, at the top, at the governor's spot, and some of these statewide official races that are taking place, if that can even help Chicago, and if Chicago is to become healthier, does that help the whole state?
Absolutely. When the crime in Chicago is addressed, it helps the rest of Illinois, because the economic growth that we will see in the city of Chicago will help Illinois as an entire state. I do believe, Annie, that we will have a Republican governor. I think every candidate running for governor right now on the Republican ticket can beat J.B. Pritzker.
Really?
As a matter of fact, I do. I think some probably more likely than others. But I do believe that J.B. Pritzker is a flawed candidate. He's a flawed leader, and he's not doing anything to change my perception of his lack of leadership. I think we can win Republican offices at the statewide level up and down the ticket. I think we can take our legislative chambers out of the super minority. And I think that will change. That will change how Illinois is governed. We won't have any more crime bills which are taking away cash bail in Illinois that are going to encourage more criminal activity and make sure Chicago recovers a lot later than it should. But Lori Lightfoot, she is a disaster. And that's a pretty low bar when you talk about the worst mayor in the country, when you've had these mayors preside over chop zones in Seattle and other places during the summer of 2020. I think she's going to lose re-election, and I can't wait for that to happen because she's been a disastrous mayor.
Congressman Davis, last question before we let you go. Have you seen an interest, maybe more so than in election years past, to kind of lock arms across the state of Illinois to make sure that this red wave doesn't miss our state? Because in the past, we've seen these red waves hit, and they just don't seem to cover over the state of Illinois like they do some other places. Is the Illinois Republican Party dedicated to making sure that we get to partake in this as much as everyone else anticipates?
Well, absolutely. I have been spreading that same message as I've traveled my new district that I live in, that the Democrats gerrymandered in Springfield just a few months ago. I've been spreading the message to say we will have primaries on June 28th in Illinois. And when we pick our candidates as Republicans, I pledge to them, and I ask them to pledge to all of us, that we're going to stand hand in hand and go throughout Illinois to make sure that our Republican message spreads everywhere in this state. This election is too important. It's happened before in our lifetime. In 1994, the headlines in the Chicago papers were, will Democrats ever win in Illinois again? In 2010, our candidates who had the resources, they were able to win. And we're going to continue to, we're going to make that happen this year. And I cannot wait.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it unfolds as well. Reminder for folks that primary is June 28th, and people need to be paying attention to who they are looking to support in the primary now, because the general election being in November, you can make your personal preference choice, of course, in that primary first. Congressman Davis, always great to have you on the show. Thank you for your time today. We'll get you back here sooner. It had been too long, so we're glad we could fit you in.
Thanks for having me on, and great Nickelback tune on the way in, too.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Congressman. So let's take a quick break here. And as we go to a break, I want to tell you about the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll today. And it is interesting to me because I'm not even 100% sure how y'all are going to vote on this. Do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? Getter, True Social, Parler. Is Gab a Twitter-like thing? I've never done
it's
that.
Along those lines. I've not done it either. I think Telegram is another one.
I think Telegram's a little different.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of got its own thing a little bit more. But do they last a year from now? Yes or no? Go vote on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Say hi while you're there and tell us why you think the way you think in that poll. And we'll read some of those responses on the air later on in the show in the 2 o'clock hour. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in just a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Reardon Show.
I really believe that you could make a case for this being, if not the best, but one of the 3 best offenses the Blues have ever assembled.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Stewart's American Mortgage, Stewie, my friend who helped me twice refinance my mortgage, one time to secure a pretty drastically lower rate than what we had secured. It was a low rate in 2015, but they had gone down so significantly. It was a no-brainer. Why? Because when you do a refinance with Stewie, you don't pay fees that every other lender out there is going to charge you for. If you've looked into refinancing before, sometimes it makes sense. You're going to save some money. Maybe the rate's going to go down, but they charge you a lot to go through the process. Stewie doesn't. He doesn't hide the fees. He doesn't stick them in the loan. They're not there. I'm no dummy, and I have had him explain the whole process to me multiple times, and he doesn't charge them to you. And when you sit down and talk to him, if you want to know all the dirty details, he'll tell you that, and it makes a lot of sense. And it's really, really smart to look into for yourself as well. The first time we did it to lower our rate, the second time we did it, we lowered our rate a little bit, even more, and we took some cash out of the growing equity that we've all seen take place in our homes. If you need to improve your economic situation, there's no smarter place to go than Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226715.
There's a campfire smell coming from your fireplace and pieces of brick in your yard. Who can I trust? English Sweep Certified Sweeps and Master Masons will solve all your chimney needs. Protect your investment. Get back to the important things in your life. Go to EnglishSweep.com.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's credit cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.3% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/join. Ramp.com/join. ramp.com/join.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800. windowworld.com.
The following is a paid political announcement. In 2015, Black Lives Matter chanted, In March 2021, Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. In July 2020, Black Lives Matter rioters did this to Chicago police in Grant Park.
Police said the PVC pipe used to hold the Black Lives Matter banners had been sharpened and were taken out and used to jab at officers.
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. In August 2020, Black Lives Matter Chicago organizer Ariel Atkins said.
I don't care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Nike.
In March 2021, Richard Irvin wrote, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. For years, Black Lives Matter promoted looting our cities and deconstructing the nuclear family. Yet Richard Irvin bragged, I support Black Lives Matter strongly and passionately. And Richard Irvin wants to be your Republican candidate for governor? Only in Illinois. Tell Richard Irvin you won't support a Republican who supports Black Lives Matter. Vote no on Richard Irvin. Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
This was a paid political announcement.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize portfolios, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. At Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you aren't getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
The Fed has raised rates.
But there's still time to lock in Golden Oak Lending's low 3.75% rate.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With home values at all-time highs and our low rates, you can pull more cash out of your home.
Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 3.75% fixed, 4.88% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you say sorry. I was waiting on a different story. This time I'm mistaken for letting you I would break it, and I've been wrong.
The data speaks for itself. And on all of the measures that you just talked about, homicide, shootings, carjackings, down this year, sir. Sorry to disappoint you, but that is
178% increase in carjackings, violent carjackings in downtown Chicago.
You are, sir. Carjackings in our city
Millennium
are
Park?
down.
Okay.
You are one of the rudest people I've ever seen. You really are.
I am?
Yeah, you are, sir.
Okay.
You are.
I would think that carjackers would be the rudest people.
Well, no, you're rude in this room.
I think his name was Kelly. Is his last name Kelly? He's a radio host in Chicago, and Tucker had him on last night. And at the end, I'm gonna get this clip and cue it up so that we can listen to it later on in the 2:00 hour because it is so funny. He says, "I'm gonna be back in our press briefing on Wednesday, Tucker. If there's any question that you would like me to ask, you let me know." And he goes, "How about what the hell?" I'm like, "There's no better question." And if he's got to go in there now, and he's got to go into that press briefing next time on Wednesday. Because he's holding his phone up and videoing himself doing this. And Lori Lightfoot is so bothered by anybody who doesn't kiss her feet. And this guy's one of them. And he's got to hold that phone up and say, "I have a question here from Tucker Carlson. Simply, what the hell?" He might not get invited back the next time, but he's the press. It is what it is. Let's get to Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins! It's great to just see somebody bringing up stats. You just say, here's
people
carjacking.
are doing that to her every day.
Thank God.
There are lots of people who are doing that on a regular basis. They just don't have to be accountable to it.
Yeah. It's really, I gotta say, it's remarkable to see Jen Psaki do that every day too. There's not that many people pushing back on her.
She's really good at her job.
But she is really good at it because she'll spin and spin and spin her way out of every question. You know, why are you enforcing the border more? Oh, we are, Peter. You know, no, you're not. But they just say whatever they want and they spin it back. Very, very good at it. Here's somebody who's not so good at spinning things. President Joe Biden. Yesterday, a Tampa Bay Lightning player was seen cracking up after President Biden mistakenly referred to NHL. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman as Gary Batman during the team's White House visit on Monday. It is, well, here, we've got the audio. I presume.
I want to thank Commissioner Gary Batman and for being here as well. And
I gotta be honest, you can't even understand what he's saying.
I know.
It's not like he clearly says Batman.
I want to thank Commissioner Gary Batman and for being here as well. And
he's just mumbling his words. It's so awful. It's embarrassing.
It is. And it's really funny to see the guys behind him laughing. I mean, that's what makes the clip really funny, but it's just every day this stuff. I mean, this one, the headline just caught me. Gary Batman is just such a funny name. And then hearing the audio, you're like, oh, it's sad. It's sadder than it is funny because of all the implications of the president of the United States saying this stuff.
The interesting thing about those NHL players behind him laughing is what America is seeing when those players are standing back there reacting in real time to yet another flub by this nearing, I don't know, I guess I got to look up, what does the word senile mean? Is that too strong of a word?
That's you're right on it.
Well, here's the word senile before I use it and apply it to the president of the United States: having or showing the weaknesses or diseases of old age, especially a loss of mental faculties. So I'll go with it. Senile, president of the United States saying the last name Bettman like Batman, and those guys standing behind him laughing. You know what that is? That's real. That's factual. It's uncensored. It's unmanufactured. It's unspun. It's real. And it's what America has been doing for more time than what any of these people who generally have in the past controlled the narrative and controlled the story in front of the cameras, behind the microphones, about what's taking place with this administration and why this administration is a good thing. From the start of the show, Brad, I said, nobody can put a more positive outlook on anything than you. And there's not a single thing to hang your hat on.
I can't. I've looked at it. I don't know what it is that I could say that is positive about this administration, because they've not been anything that they even promised that they would be. I mean, you would think, okay, well, maybe they'd bring some sort of sense of normalcy or return to normal back to the White House after, the Trump presidency. But it's not. It's not normal. What we're watching hockey players laugh at the president because he can't say Bettman is not normal.
He's not trying to make a political point. This was Lightning's defenseman, Victor Hedman. You can see that he's not trying to make a fool out of him. He just starts laughing.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about, it's real. It's not a spin. It's not a censored, prepackaged version of the truth that is put together in a way for you and me to consume in a way that the sender prefers. It's just real. And it's one of those situations where if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. It's really awful.
Yeah, it's not just us either. It's the whole world. They're not taking his phone calls when he calls Saudi Arabia and France and North Korea and nations that the leader of the free world should be talking to. It's not just outside of America either. It is Democrats know this. I was looking at polling, asking the question of just Democrats: who do you want to be the next nominee for 2024? Joe Biden, the sitting president, gets 29% of those people. The rest, here's what's weird though, the rest of the 71% can't figure out who they want. It's spread all over the place, with Kamala Harris being the next highest at 12%. But there are so many candidates, and unsure actually beats Kamala Harris. So they listed everybody: Cory Booker, Stacey Abrams, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders. Nobody's running away with this thing. And you'd think, boy, that'd be good for the incumbent with Joe Biden, but everybody knows he's just not capable of doing
I don't think that's really terribly surprising, though, because if you look at the Democratic primary, it was the same. I bet the numbers reflect very similarly to how spread out everything was in this past Democratic primary. And the one thing that they don't have right now to drive people into a consolidated place yet, I dare say, is the fact that the other guy was Trump. So for most voters in that primary election, it was, well, whoever it is, I'm voting for him. It doesn't matter which of this cast of characters on this stage or multiple stages of people debating in a Democratic primary. It doesn't matter which one it's going to be. I hate Trump and I'm voting against Trump. That's what the game plan was in 2020. And now it's not that simple. You're going to have to oust the guy who is the current president of the United States, and you're going to have to skip over the first black female to serve in the White House in that capacity. And it's a mess. And Stacey Abrams, according to this salacious book that is out right now, which I dare not give too much attention to because I didn't do it when people wrote these like tell-all books about the Trump administration. It does seem like Stacey Abrams was an immediate no when considered for the vice president spot. So this administration is in complete and total shambles, and the only thing propping it up is the media and their ability to harness the story and make it their own. And they just lost Twitter. So fat chance on being able to continue to win the way you did before. You're going to have to figure out a different way to do it. I'll be curious to see if they're able to do it for sure. That poll right now, the Anti-Frey YouTube poll is, do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? Yes or no? You can go to the Anti-Frey YouTube channel and vote. We got Dakota Wood coming in here when we can get back in the 1 o'clock hour, and Ryan will be back in the 2 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
The St. Louis real estate market continues to make headlines for home sellers. Selling's easier, but finding your next home can be tricky. Hey, Mark Cox here. For the best real estate advice, get to know my friend and realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I know everyone knows a realtor. I know several as well, but I only endorse Gloria because of her proven track record. I've seen her systems, I've met her clients, and when it comes to getting you more money, Gloria is the only agent and team I would trust to sell my home. The secret is Gloria already has the buyers. Thousands of buyers who are looking for homes in your area, your price range, and ready to buy today. This is how Gloria creates higher demand, multiple offers, and the most money for you. So take it from me. Call Gloria today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494. Or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-676-5919 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-676-5919. That's 800-676-5919. What do you have to lose? Call 800-676-5919. Again, 800-676-5919.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A new round of COVID in Washington. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Vice President Kamala Harris has it, testing positive on both rapid and PCR tests.
Harris has exhibited no symptoms and will isolate as she continues to work from her residence. The White House says Harris has not been a close contact of the president or first lady because of recent travel schedules. Harris will return to the White House when she tests negative. Her husband, second gentleman Doug Emhoff, tested positive for COVID last month.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. 2 U.S. senators, also Democrats, have tested positive as well. Chris Murphy of Connecticut and Wyoming's Ron Wyden. A senior aide says the scheduled confirmation vote of Lael Brainerd to be vice chair of the Fed will not be impacted, but The Senate will delay action on the nominee to lead the Federal Trade Commission. The CDC says COVID cases are on the rise nationwide, fueled by the Omicron subvariant BA2, though still relatively low compared to even a month ago at about 44,000 per day. The CDC director also notes, though, more rapid tests are being done at home, with results not always reported. A global search for answers underway after an outbreak of severe liver disease in kids. More than 200 hepatitis cases linked to a virus similar to the common cold.
This mysterious liver disease outbreak is stretching across 12 different countries. 17 of those kids who got sick with this had to get liver transplants. So far, at least one child has died.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. The CDC issuing an alert for doctors to watch for symptoms after cases were found in Illinois, Alabama, and North Carolina. Police just announcing that a 3-month-old baby kidnapped from his family's apartment yesterday in the San Francisco Bay Area has been found, and several suspects are in custody. The baby taken to the hospital as a precaution. The grandmother told police it happened when she went downstairs to unload groceries. America is listening to Fox News.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEW.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty across town on this Tuesday afternoon. Lots of sunshine this afternoon, but our temperatures are quite cool for late April. 59, 60 for the high. Tonight, clear, cold, spotty frost away from the city. 39 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny and 70 in the afternoon. It's obviously a chilly start Wednesday morning. Thursday, partly sunny, showers moving back in late Thursday with a high of 68. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Come hang out with all of us at 97.1 May 4th.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
And so will I.
Along with some of the top thought leaders in the nation.
This is Hans von Spakowski from the Heritage Foundation. Looking forward to it.
This is Jim Carafano, and we are coming to see you in 97.1 Land.
It's a full 97.1 event, along with Heritage, and you're invited. May 4th at 7 at the Elks Lodge in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's all free. Let us know you're coming at 971talk.com.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Switch to eco-friendly cleaning products and spend more time outside to make every day Earth Day. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Search for Alterna 90s on the Odyssey app and listen to great songs. And some you've probably forgotten about. Alterna 90s on the Odyssey app. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, you've heard us say a number of times that that kind of rhetoric is very dangerous and unhelpful. Nobody wants to see a nuclear war happen. It's a war that, where all sides lose. And so rattling of sabers and dangerous rhetoric is clearly unhelpful and something that we won't engage in.
Defense Secretary Austin there talking about the discussion that we've been having now for some time, weeks for sure, where the words nuclear war are discussed. In his words, nobody wants to see nuclear war, a war where all sides lose. It definitely seems like nobody wins a nuclear war. Are we getting closer to that? Are we getting further from that? Well, let's ask our expert friend, Dakota Wood, Senior Research Fellow for Defense Programs at the Heritage Foundation. Dakota, welcome back to the show. As usual, great to have you back.
Man, always great to be with you. Just love your intro. That's some great clips.
Yeah, let me get your reaction to that. A nuclear war. One person launches a nuclear warhead and causes great destruction, and then in order to get him back, it happens again. More great destruction. To what end?
Yeah, so I think it's actually receding. I mean, the saber rattling is getting louder, obviously, but I think the chances of that are receding. But to your point, I mean, there are different types of weapons, which I think a lot of people don't really appreciate. There are these massive megaton sorts of things that we recall from the Cold War days. But Russia has a very deep inventory of what are called tactical nukes, much smaller yield. And so they could be used on a battlefield. It's part of Russian doctrine. And then the quandary, the real challenge to the West, to the U.S. and NATO allies is what do you do with that? If they used a tactical nuclear weapon in a specific spot in Ukraine and it had limited effect, well, they breached the nuclear threshold for the first time since 1945, right? But how do you respond? Do you respond with another tactical nuke who has those or do you respond with a cyber attack or complete economic isolation? And I don't think the administration has figured out what a U.S. response would be. So the fear of nuclear war is what Moscow is really using. They're trying to exploit that to intimidate Western countries from continuing to support Ukraine.
Well, the fear of nuclear attack, that's happened before in history. That's something that we have seen before, and it's not a good place to be in. I mean, what has to happen between now and the place where cooler heads prevail?
I think in the coming weeks, we're just going to see a classic Russian approach to war in the eastern part of the country, in the Donbass region, where it's heavy on fires. That means artillery, rocket launches, perhaps bombs from various types of aircraft. And what their doctrine normally is to pummel a city or an enemy position into submission. And then they move in with heavy infantry and tanks, other sorts of armor. So I think what we'll see in the eastern part is extraordinarily heavy use of these fires, long-range fires, and the ability of the Ukrainian forces to resist that in terms of demoralization, replacement of casualties is really going to be the telling feature. So we can continue, and we should continue, to sustain them with additional ammunition and repair parts and new vehicles and those sorts of things. But they're going to take a toll there in the Ukrainian military.
We're speaking with the Senior Research Fellow for Defense Programs at the Heritage Foundation, Dakota Wood. You mentioned when we were discussing, nuclear war, you mentioned cyber attacks. And you said something that is very, very spot on, which is that people don't appreciate the breadth of different kinds of weapons that exist. What do you want the average American to know about what a real cyber attack looks like, or something that maybe is a little outside of the war movies that we've seen before and bombs going off?
Yeah, so there have been kind of probes of the American or the U.S. system writ large. You recall malware, or what do they call it? Not hostage, but where a city's records are encrypted, right? Ransomware sorts of attacks. So that occurs in a city. Can you imagine a hospital being locked down where none of its computer systems work and you can't access medical care, or some kind of a power grid goes down? We saw the effect of bad weather in Texas overwhelming the power grid. What if it was shut down by some kind of malware attack, or something, major banking systems, or Wall Street there in New York, where, a malware attack occurs and all of a sudden you lose access to your life savings, or your lights go off and you can't turn them back on. So you can see a horizontal escalation of these sorts of things, where satellite systems are attacked via cyberware, power grid, information grid, financial enterprises. None of that has really been brought into the scope of this war between Russia and Ukraine specifically, or Russia and the West more broadly. And I think these fears are really what is driving the White House, the Biden White House, to be so incremental and so minimalist in their approach, that there is this fear of antagonizing Russia so that Russia broadens the scope of the war to affect the United States directly.
Dakota, I've heard many people criticize the federal government for underfunding our defense systems. And, I think that what we're talking about with cyber warfare, or, power grids going out, and how we are supposed to function in a society where the very foundational things that we are used to living with and functioning off of are not in place. I mean, at some point, and it would be a drastically quick realization that we are not prepared for this, and with great travesty in ahead.
We live in a digital world. That's just the reality of life. You use your smartphone, you use credit cards. Now you don't even have to put it in the machine. It's just, touch and those sorts of things. Instantaneous access to information. Again, interaction with your financial advisor, or getting your paycheck direct deposit. I mean, it's just a digital world, right? And so Congress has commissioned a number of studies over the last 20 years, 2 or 3 of which have to do with the electromagnetic pulse, whether it's a naturally occurring thing from the sun, some edge or solar flare, or if it was caused by a nuclear weapon detonated at altitude, and we have taken no action. Right? We're very good on offensive cyber. We're very bad on defensive cyber, because when you invest in those defensive and hardening and resilience sorts of capabilities, it costs something to do that. And nobody wants to pay more, for a particular item, even if that item has this built-in resiliency. So we just have to get used to the idea that to have a secure economy, to have a resilient economy and protections against these sorts of things that might come from Russia, but there's also Iran and North Korea and China out there as well, that it's just going to cost the American public a bit more to have that kind of security. And our political class really hasn't made that case to the American public to normalize this sort of tax, if you will, to have the kind of country that we really enjoy living in.
Well, Dakota, as the senior research fellow for defense programs, I mean, you understand on a global scale how different countries approach these, as you phrased it, offenses and defenses. But I'm curious if you have any thoughts on, the average American listening right now, maybe on their lunch hour here in St. Louis, Missouri, knowing that we are ill-prepared on a defense side for something like an EMP or some type of cyber warfare. Do you have any advice for those people listening as to how they can kind of maybe buffer a little bit their own personal circumstances, knowing that maybe it might take a minute before the federal government gets their act together?
Right. What a great comment. I mean, I'm fully convinced that Americans would rise to the occasion just as the Ukrainian people have risen to the occasion. And we see this in our daily lives. A tornado comes through and the community, reaches out, or a hurricane or something like that. So, Americans are just great people, but we've become used to kind of an easy life in many ways, how we go about our business. So we need to think about our own private health. Do you have some kind of, financial cushion, some kind of savings built up? Can you go more than just a few days eating at home before you have to go to the grocery store? If you remember the first year of COVID, the first 6 months, when the distribution of food supplies resulted in, no toilet paper and no bread on the shelves, people were scrambling because they didn't have any surplus, back home. So I think keeping a bit of buffer, driving on the top half of your fuel tank, the ability to go a week perhaps without having to go to the store, and just mentally thinking about these things gives you the emotional and psychological and spiritual resilience that gets you through the initial days of a very difficult time.
And it's you would think that that's a smart preparatory thing to do, not a fringe crazy thing to do, to have that list of preparedness nature taken care of.
No. I mean, we're talking about a year of food in the basement, and going full on prepper. But if you live in Hurricane Alley in the Midwest, I mean, I grew up in St. Louis, in that area, and the family moved to Oklahoma. Tornadoes are just a feature of life. If you lived on the Gulf Coast or in Florida, then it's hurricanes. And so you always have like maybe a home generator or some additional gas cans in the garage or whatever, but you've got the ability to deal with a natural disaster. So warfare or some kind of man-made thing is just a variation of that. So I think this kind of resiliency and dealing with difficult times for a week or two is just a good precaution. A snowstorm or an ice storm comes through and knocks down the power lines. Can you function without electrical power for a few days? And so this really isn't out of the ordinary, but what we're introducing is in a time of war. It could be very intentional. It can be more protracted. So just kind of thinking through that, what do you need to have in your own personal life that gets you through those challenging several days up front?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic advice. I want to ask you one last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Dakota Wood with the Heritage Foundation. This administration has a lot of challenges, and they're taking on water on a lot of fronts. And I do feel like the public may have a little Russia-Ukraine fatigue. This story is continuing to go on, and Ukraine continues to stand up and defend themselves much stronger than anybody really anticipated them to be able to do. Is the administration and putting the United States in a relatively good position regarding this conflict? Are we strengthening our position in this moment in time, or are you concerned?
I'm concerned. I think that it's a minimalist approach from the administration. If you remember when, again, it's just COVID was a great kind of natural, whether you think it's man-made out of the Wuhan lab or not, it was still a disease. And everybody was like, hey, 2 months from now, we're going to be all over this. Well, these things, pandemics stretch out years. World War II, right? From, at least for the U.S., 41 to 45. The Korean War stretched years. The Vietnam War stretched years. So to think that this thing in Ukraine is going to be over and done in just a month or so, I don't think is really fair to sensitizing the American public to the nature of this combat action. In the Gulf War in 1991, a 100-hour ground war, but it was preceded by a few weeks of aerial bombing against which the Iraqi military didn't have, much capability to defend. But that was an anomaly. So these sorts of really big events stretch on far longer than most people want to think about. And then you get into this endurance, and do you have to deal with fatigue, and have you adjusted your mentality to deal with these protracted events? And again, I think the administration wants to minimize these challenges. Look at our southern border, right? That they're going to deal with it. Well, yeah, you roll back Title 42, and the administration is anticipating 18,000 migrants a day crossing our border. So who is being honest with the American public? So it comes back to our own personal decisions and our personal lives. And do we have the heart and the will and the mentality to deal with these kind of extended sorts of problems?
Well, Dakota, as always, thank you for coming on and speaking to us, and a lot of great advice you have given to people today here in this region, just to make some smart decisions for themselves to be prepared. Grateful to have you.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Senior Research Fellow for Defense Programs at the Heritage Foundation, giving you some advice for your defense program. I love this topic. Kind of want to talk about it when we come back. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Preparedness?
Yes.
You should really get prepared, Brad.
Yeah, I should get prepared. I will. I'm not as prepared as I should be.
Well, let's talk about it when we come back. Also, that YouTube poll. If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, go join us over there and say hello. People popping into the live chat every day, new, stopping by there to vote in the poll, saying hi for the first time. We love meeting new people there. And the YouTube poll for today, here's what it is. Do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? Elon Musk shaking up the whole system and, wondering if those places that other people might have flocked to when Twitter was not a fair place to fight, are those other places going to continue to exist now that Elon Musk has done what Elon Musk has done? Stick around, more Annie Frey Show in a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky from Heritage Foundation are joining all of us at 97.1 FM Talk on May 4th, and you're invited.
It's a full 97.1 event along with Heritage.
May 4th, just RSVP at 971talk.com. The Retirement Advisory Group and Thomas Helbig are staples in the 97.1 family. And when you go to meet Thomas Helbig, or if you go to one of the events that he has throughout the course of the year, I don't know when the next one is happening. I think there's usually one in May, but I'll have to check my schedule. You are going to meet other people who are just like you. You are nearing retirement, and you're somebody who has been saving and sacrificing over the course of decades to make sure that when retirement gets there, whether it's when you turn 60 or 67 or 70, whatever floats your boat, you've taken on the responsibility to make sure it's a possibility for you. And then you get into a time like this, and the world has gone crazy, and you don't know what the economy is going to do next. You need somebody in your corner who's going to make sure that your retirement is worry-free, that you don't make a mistake by not protecting your money here in the bottom of the 9th inning before retirement sets in, and that it's safe. That's Thomas Helbig. When you call Thomas Helbig for a worry-free, no obligation, no cost retirement review, 314-993-9494, you're going to sit down with him, and he's going to talk to you how he does this. And he's going to be straight up honest with you. And you, like many other people who have listened to the station and listened to the show, are going to say, this is my guy. I'm so glad I found him. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer, but look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I
might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind, Darren the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. Voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Pineview Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Pineview Medical now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
The Fed has raised rates.
But there's still time to lock in Golden Oak Lending's low 3.75% rate.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With home values at all-time highs and our low rates, you can pull more cash out of your home.
Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, 3.75% fixed, 4.88% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
KFTK time is
time for an $89 AC tune-up.
CherryKilling.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
God, I'm on my knees again. God, I'm begging, please again. I need you. Oh, I need you. Walking down these desert roads, water for my thirsty soul. I need you. Oh, I need you. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Great conversation we just had with Dakota Wood. He's like really smart when it comes to defense programs, and I'm talking like on a global scale. And as we were talking about this, I popped Twitter open just to see if anything else had just occurred or whatever. And so we were talking with Dakota Wood about the alternatives that exist that, in his words, that doesn't really get enough attention by a lot of the people who are discussing these issues. You hear nuclear war and everyone goes, oh, nuclear war, and it's the shiny object in the room. But there are a lot of other things that could exist in warfare with Russia or with Iran. He listed multiple places. And some of that includes cyber warfare and EMPs. And an EMP is an electromagnetic pulse, which would knock out an electric grid. And we've talked about this from time to time. Like, how do you prepare yourself for those types of scenarios? And ironically, while I don't know if you just saw this tweet that I just put out, I retweeted this person.
I have not looked at it yet.
Pedrig, Belton. I don't know who this is. Journalist, BBC, and a few other places. and it says buys nappies on eBay is the profile. But I guess European there. And he tweeted just 2 hours ago, "Hi from America, where Walmart doesn't have a plug adapter for my UK laptop. But on the other hand, I can buy a rifle and ammunition."
Well, which one is going to be more useful in the United States?
I retweeted it with a lot of American flags and tagging Walmart saying, get those adapters for, is it Padrig? I would assume it's like Patrick. I don't know.
Padrag? Yeah, something like that. But also, those are BB guns. Those aren't rifles. That's a Daisy, a Red Rider, and
these are assault weapons. Look at these ARs sitting there on the Walmart.
You put your eye out, kid.
But where's his computer adapter? This Matt Walsh is right underneath it and says, "Sir, it's even worse than you think. They also sell grenades at the dollar store." This is why Twitter is amazing. Oh. It's
For context, it's a plastic hand grenade toy, but
it's like a water thing. No, it's just a plastic toy. It's just supposed to look like a grenade. It's worse than you think. Oh man. Then this person says you can legit buy a person and it's a Barbie. There's another one. You can literally walk into Walmart and leave with an M1 Abrams tank. And it's like a little, you can buy the little Escalades for your spoiled, rotten 4-year-old to drive around the yard. There's a tank. And I remember seeing this tank at Walmart and saying to my husband, like, if Charlie could still fit in this thing, I think I'd be buying it for my parents' farm.
But Jensen and Molly and and Evelyn would fit in that.
It's got a rocket launcher thing. What is that on the front of this tank that I think actually shoots stuff? Hell, if I could fit in this thing, I'd be driving this around. People just see a gun and they panic. I mean, dare you go into the Nerf aisle? Oh, these people. So we were talking about being prepared in case of an EMP. I mean, that BB gun might be helpful.
I'll tell you what, an air rifle or some, you don't want the spring-loaded Red Rider BB gun or whatever, but you want one that you can kind of pump up and
you're
and shoot.
speaking language that if people don't know, they don't know.
Right, but
so explain it in a way.
So the Red Rider, the one from A Christmas Story, that gun uses a spring to shoot the BB out. It's really just a target practice kind of thing. I don't know that you could actually hunt with it. But if you had an air rifle, which you pump and then you use pellets or BBs in that, it uses air pressure to propel the projectile out.
May
that
get a little.
Yeah, you could go deer hunting or even
deer.
Rabbit. I'm sorry, not deer hunting, bird hunting or even rabbit hunting.
Squirrel.
With it. Yeah, you could get those things with it.
You can feed yourself.
And it's quiet. So if you miss, it's not like boom and then everything runs away.
Unless you yell boom when you shoot it.
But yeah, my brother and I used to go hunting with those.
Probably a good thing to have too if you're not familiar with guns. To start with something like that and get used to the idea of holding one and not walking past one in Walmart while you're looking for your computer adapter and seeing it and going, oh,
right.
Pearl clutchers. Yeah, you should see what else we have in the United States.
Yeah, you have no idea, buddy.
Go into an actual gun store. So as far as preparedness goes, I'm of the firm belief that the most valuable thing that you can have in that moment is guns and ammo. And in some cases, ammo. I mean, if you're not like, if just to have ammo will be food, defense, and currency. I think that is like, I don't understand what the value of a paper dollar is going to be if there's no system that is tracking where the dollars are going and who has them and why does the dollar continue to be valuable?
Well,
and forget about your debit card that does not access the money that's in your bank.
I forget what it says. I've got a bill here, but I'm trying to find it. But on the dollar bill, it says it's backed by the full faith and trust of the U.S. government. That's what it is. It's supposed to be legal tender for the gold that's in Fort Knox or whatever. But here's the thing.
That.
Yeah, about that. Here's the thing. When society collapses, there will not be a U.S. government to have full faith and confidence in. So that paper money is just that, paper. It's good for receipts and writing stuff down and
toilet paper when you run out.
Yeah. And so you need something that's more tangible. And all money really is a placeholder for the exchange of your time for your ability to do something for somebody else.
So food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the things that are practical are going to be the things that are valuable.
Right.
And if you have the ability to provide food, or straight up, if you're growing food or farming food or whatever, that is going to be of value. But I think the most versatile thing is guns and ammo.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to need something of great value and you decide to trade a gun, you're going to get something of great value. That will be of great value to somebody who does not have one.
And you're going to really have to consider, how many of these do I have? And do I have this one to spare to trade for something? And how bad is it that I need what that?
Which is why if you have some, you should get another one.
Right. Many.
Just in general.
Listen, if you don't have an armory, you're doing it wrong.
So I went to STS Armory recently and love the people at STS Armory. Katie and Jesse are fantastic people. It's in Pontoon Beach, and I highly encourage you to stop by and see what they have. They have their out the door prices up on with the firearms that they have in stock, and they can connect you with whatever you need. But go see Katie and Jesse at STS Armory in Pontoon Beach and tell them you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show. But we just added 4 separate 22s.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. And we did it in a way that we thought could help our kids learn the process. So we have a bolt action Rascal, I believe, which honestly, of all the things that we own, and I'm not going to go into everything that the Frey family owns, but of all the things we own, that might be one of my favorite things to shoot, because you just put the little 22 round in there and you move the bolt and you fire, and it's super accurate. And it's not like, I've shot a 12 gauge shotgun. That's an experience. It hurts the next day. I don't shoot it frequently enough to make it so that it doesn't hurt my shoulder the next day. And yes, I do know how to shoulder a shotgun, and I'm doing it correctly, but it's just a lot of power. That little 22, if I can hit, these little targets that we're shooting at with that little thing, I find that to be very fun, way less intimidating, and a great way to get somebody who, maybe you're a woman and you have been in positions where you knew that you could be unsafe, that the circumstances around you were of such that you could be unsafe. And you knew that if you carried, you would be much more confident in your own security. But there is a huge journey and an incredibly important journey between that first thought of, I wonder if I would be able to carry a weapon, and to the point where you carry a weapon. I have my conceal and carry. I can conceal and carry. I have concealed and carried. But it is not something that as soon as I got my license, I was like strapping on a regular basis. You have to get to that point. You have to be confident. And if you're so like, I think that the Rascal that we bought, I think it was like $125.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No. And you can feed your family on those.
Absolutely.
22 ammo's a lot cheaper.
You can eat a lot of squirrel and rabbits.
Well, I know I'm going to have a really hard time with that.
You just put it in stew and you won't know what it is.
I'm going to diet. I just like, I don't know. I mean, I would do it. I'm turning my nose up at something that eventually one day I would literally kill to have a squirrel to eat. And I'd absolutely do that for my kids and to provide for my family. But we have that. We got a lever action Henry, which is super fun to shoot. A 22 pistol and a 22 semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the walk through different kinds of 22s, but that way we can continue to purchase 22 ammo on a regimented schedule, I would say, and have that. And it's useful. And it's a way that we can, as we deem appropriate, teach our whole family to utilize these weapons. And if God forbid anything ever happens, we will be prepared in that sense. If nothing ever happens, it's a great skill for my kids to have.
Yes.
And for us all to know and understand and respect.
Yes. And the thing I really like what you're doing is you're covering all the bases. So you're doing it with 22s, but the kids are going to be able to understand the difference between a semi-automatic, a bolt action, a lever action, how they work and what they do and what you need to do to cycle it to get the next round in. And like you said, it's all 22. So all the ammo's the same. All the ammo's the same price. They'll, so it's not like you have to buy 3 different types of ammos to train with those 3 different types of guns. So I really like your strategy on that. That's a good strategy. And a 22 is a great firearm for a child to learn on. And people are like, he's saying you should teach your kids gun safety. I personally think that gun safety should be required in school. I think that we should teach kids that, because I think if we taught kids the seriousness of it and what they are, not just this is scary or make it forbidden. You tell a kid something's off limits and then you don't tell them why. What is the first thing that they want to do? They want to figure out what it is. And so they go at it.
There's a whole host of life skills that children should be educated in that they're not. This is where a certain generation, Dad, would say, balancing the checkbook. And I'm like, Dad, people don't do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, they do. And I'm like, well, some people do. Younger people don't. Do you balance your checkbook? I bet you do.
I don't balance our checkbook because we don't write checks.
Yeah.
But we do essentially whatever the modern equivalent is of that, where we form a budget and make sure that we tell the money where to go instead of the money deciding where it wants to go.
People need to write it down in a little ledger. And this is dumb, but if the bank makes a 5, I mean, the bank could make a bigger. I'm looking at my bank account multiple times a day. So if anything goes in there and shouldn't be in there, I'm seeing it. But if I'm off 45 cents because some fee got charged somewhere or whatever, this is so stupid. I shouldn't be saying this on the air. But if I'm off 45 cents or something like that, I'll pay the 45 cents to not have to balance my checkbook. That's not worth my time.
Right.
Because that's how they nickel it. That's how they get you. My dad's entire generation is going kids these days.
Yeah.
And I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. The Annie-Fry YouTube channel. Do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? Yes or no? And while you're there in the live chat, give us some suggestions of preparedness, things that you have done just in case, just to be independent, self-sufficient, or if you're like an all-out prepper, tell us those tips too, because we'll take some and we'll put them up on the screen and we'll read them on the air and react to them. What are your preparedness suggestions? Go to the Annie-Fry YouTube, vote in the live chat poll, and give us a comment. We'll be back in a minute.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
I trust his mission to extend the light of consciousness. Thank you, Jack Dorsey.
Super Musk.
I'm writing that down.
How stoned was Jack Dorsey yesterday when he wrote that?
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Diabetic neuropathy, cold feet, resting leg pain, foot wounds that don't heal. These are classic signs of peripheral artery disease, or PAD. Left untreated, PAD can lead to gangrene and even lower limb amputation. Modern Vascular is a healthcare leader in the outpatient treatment of PAD. Last year, over 10,000 patients across the country chose Modern Vascular for the diagnosis and treatment of their PAD. Modern Vascular clinics consistently receive high Google review ratings and have received over 500 five-star patient reviews in the last 12 months. In fact, Modern Vascular has been recognized as the best PAD treatment specialist in the country. If you or someone you love is experiencing the symptoms symptoms of PAD, don't ignore it. Visit modernvascular.com today or call 844-4PAD-HELP to schedule a consultation in our local clinic. That's 844-4PAD-HELP.
So I want to talk to you about my friend Jen Teskey and why, if you are looking to sell a home or purchase a home on the Illinois side of the river, you can look no further than Jen Teskey with Remax Alliance. Jen is wonderful at her job. And that is when you are looking to sell your home, you need that. You need to not be messing around with somebody who doesn't have the expertise and the longevity of success. Because if they don't have it, they don't want to, you can't afford to have them learning on your time. You need to sell that house for top dollar and as quick as possible. That's who Jen Teskey is. And when you talk to Jen Teskey, you're quickly going to understand why she has had as much success as she has in the industry. She's got a wonderful team working behind her to make sure that every corner, every inch of your home sale is attended to. And she is an expert when it comes to the Illinois area, specifically Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Maryville, Troy, and Collinsville. If you're looking to sell your home now, or if you're looking to sell your home within the next, I'll even say year, reach out to Jen Teskey and talk to her today about your home sale process. 618-541-1010. You can call her. You can text her. 618-541-1010.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's credit cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.3% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Remember the words you told me, love me till the day I die. Surrender my everything, cause you made me believe you're mine. Yeah, you used to call me baby, now you're calling me by name. Takes one to know one, yeah, you beat me at my own damn game.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Giving you take, young blood, see you want me, out of your life, and I'm just a dead man.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Talking a little bit about preparedness right now. And, you know, there's the term prepper. And that might be a derogatory term in some cases, but preppers know that people use this as a derogatory term, and they're just waiting to laugh at those people. Is that right?
Yes, they absolutely do wait to laugh at those people.
So Christopher is commenting on here, says he goes to STS all the time, And he says, I buy all my guns through them. Great classes as well. That's also true. I think it's sts-armory.com is the website. That's where I go. And I would love for you to check them out as well. Amber says, I agree with kids being taught gun safety. Maybe we'd have few less accidental gunshot wounds and death on kids who find their parents' guns. I do think it's important if you have guns in the home for kids to understand that the gun isn't a scary thing, but if you handle it inappropriately, it can do really scary things. And so that anybody who is handling the gun needs to know what they're doing and have intent with that gun, because the gun in and of itself will never do anything on its own. It's always a matter of who's handling it and their knowledge of that gun and their intent with that gun. And that's important going into adulthood as well. Patrick says, decide on 7 meals you enjoy, stock up on the ingredients of those 7 meals until you have 3 months worth. That's an interesting way to think about it. And he also says, water, 3 gallons per person per day to include all washing, cooking, and drinking. So you said, I know that you're cognizant of this, but you said you're not where you should be.
Right.
What's that mean?
That means that I don't have enough stockpile of food. I don't have all the skill sets that I want to develop.
Are you more prepared than other people?
I think so. I am not going to be one that's blindsided. And also, and we talked about this when we talked about the personality test earlier. I am confident in my abilities to adapt and to overcome. And so at the very least, I have a plan to react to the situation when it goes down or whatever. But no, I think it would be better if we did have, and like Dakota Wood was saying, a couple days worth of food or something like that. But more importantly, what I would like to use the time for is to develop skills, right? So my dad has a garden. I'd like to learn how to garden and plant and grow my own food.
That is such a huge, huge, huge thing. Gardening and knowing, having the ability to grow your own food. Because that, again, becomes currency.
That's currency. Yep. And then the other part of that is well, it's vegetables, but how long do vegetables last? They're not going to last you whenever, because you can't grow vegetables in December. So you need to figure out how to can and how to preserve. And we look back and my grandpa had a great and an amazing garden. And my grandma was an amazing canner. They had a little cellar. And
I was just going to say, they call it the fruit cellar. My grandma called it the fruit cellar.
Yeah, something like that. And
it was a magical, mystical place.
And you'd walk down in there and there would just be shelves of peaches, apricots,
tomatoes,
pears, plums, tomatoes, all sorts of things. So my grandpa grew them all.
Have I given you jelly yet? Have you gotten any of our jelly? Oh, that'll have to happen.
That's going to be on the list.
We are going to be eating jelly in the post-apocalyptic world because Jared makes homemade strawberry jelly and peach jelly and blackberry jelly or mixed berry jelly. And he learned how to do all of this stuff. It's weird. I feel, what's the feminine version of emasculated?
I don't know.
Never been discussed.
Effeminated?
I don't know. But my grandma did the same thing and would can and make jellies and everything. And Jared loves nature. He loves the earth. He loves working with it. And he is a teacher. And so he's off during the summer when all of this stuff is going on. So he would take the kids and my grandma. So my mom would go from time to time to Eckert's and pick the fruit and make the jellies. But I was always at work. So I get to eat it. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But I did never go through the process with that. And so he spent all this time learning how to do this with my grandma, who is now passed. And I'm so grateful that he did, because grandma's homemade jelly is like a thing. It's like something that if he wouldn't have had that nobody else is making that right now. People don't make jellies. Thank God Jared does. But we've talked about wanting to make salsas and
yes.
Canning tomatoes to preserve them because he wants to be able to make his own tomato sauce because he likes to cook and stuff. He's great. I'm so glad he does this.
Yeah.
I always say the TV, I've said this before, I will say it again. The TV he likes to watch is men with too much facial hair and not enough electricity. And one day that will pay dividends for the Frey family because he spent that much time watching that television.
And I sure feel like if things go sideways too, because of the weather, I'm moving south. I'm going
You want to be here in the winter?
I'm going to try to figure out a way to eliminate as many barriers to my survival as possible. So moving
Where's
south.
the destination?
Actually, probably somewhere South Alabama, Mississippi, somewhere around there. I don't have a specific area.
You don't want to be too much into hurricane territory.
Right. But,
or places with really big critters.
But here's the thing. There's trade-offs to everything, right? And you're not going to know the hurricane's coming. If society's there, you don't have NOAA telling you this, the hurricane's coming. So,
although you might have some heads up. I mean, like people, the animals.
They
animals know.
Yes.
Maybe not enough time for you to get up on your bike and pedal away from the hurricane, but enough to maybe prepare to brace. Brace.
Well, and that's the other part of it. You're going to move to those areas. You're going to know that is going to be something that you need to survive, to weather. So you're going to build a shelter that can weather that. You're going to build your shelter in an area that is not going to get flooded. You're not going to build it in a low area. You're going to build it in a high area, that sort of thing.
Amy says on YouTube, I could last a day with the wincing face showing on the teeth. Okay, Amy, because there are lots of people who are like that, Amy. What is the number one advice you have, Brad, for Amy, who is not prepared?
It's never too late to start. So figure out something and add to your skill stack and start now.
Go buy that BB gun at Walmart.
There you go. Go get you an air rifle and learn how to shoot it.
Go to STS Armory and see what they can do. And I'll tell you this too. I took a family member into STS Armory in Pontoon Beach who wanted to buy a handgun and had never purchased one before. And STS treated him with such respect. There's no looking down the nose. They're so excited that you are there for sure. Quick break. When we come back, the 2:00 hour, we can talk a little bit more about this, see how prepared Ryan Wiggins is when we come back. And we'll have Hannah come in with Signs of the Apocalypse at 2:25. Don't go away.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
You fixed the car.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 8th, and there are so many reasons to give a gift of fine jewelry from Shane Company.
Dear Mom, what can I say? You're amazing. From being team mom at my Little League games to putting up with me when I was a wild teenager, you've taught me so much, and I'm forever grateful. Happy Mother's Day.
A gift of fine jewelry is truly special. It's something Mom will treasure forever. Shane Company has gifts in every price range, crafted with attention and care. Stunning diamond jewelry, classic styles with sapphires, beautiful cultured pearls. Get her something stylish and colorful, like huggy earrings with vibrant gemstones. Available in either London blue topaz, red garnet, or amethyst. Or surprise her with an exquisite butterfly necklace. The wings are accented with blue sapphires. Visit us for a meaningful Mother's Day gift, tied with a burgundy bow and ready to give.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring all aspects of your wealth are working harder together, so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A new border battle brewing on Capitol Hill. Elisa Brady, Fox News. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell plans to demand a vote on stopping any suspension of the COVID-era rule that turns away many asylum seekers at the southern border. And he might also try to attach it to more COVID funding. But he also says the administration could stop the scheduled lifting of Title 42 next month.
It's the same tool they've been using this whole time. They just need to have the courage to tell the radical left to take a hike and keep sending these folks back to their home countries.
The White House says it's a health policy, not an immigration rule, and they're following the CDC's decision, which a federal judge temporarily blocked yesterday. The White House says President Biden had a phone call with Vice President Harris this afternoon after Harris tested positive for COVID. The president wanting to make sure she has everything needed as she quarantines and works from home. He and the First Lady not considered close contacts because of recent travel schedules. Aspirin is no longer recommended to prevent first heart attacks and strokes for people over age 60.
The changes to a 2016 recommendation from the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, that's an independent panel of experts in primary care and prevention. It concludes now that the bleeding risk from low-dose aspirin use in older people outweighs the slightly reduced risk of heart attack and stroke. Adults 40 to 59 with a higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease are advised to consider aspirin use, weighing the benefits against the potential bleeding problems.
Fox's Chris Foster. Harvard University says it'll spend $100 million to research and atone for its ties with slavery. The Harvard president releasing a new report detailing how the college benefited from slavery and perpetuated racial inequity. They plan to identify and support descendants of slaves used on campus, also creating a committee to implement the report's recommendations. America is listening to Fox News.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the course keeps changing right before your eyes. And in order to maneuver it, you need an expert by your side. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PC and tech solutions you need to help you get out in front and stay ahead of the game. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty across town on this Tuesday afternoon. Lots of sunshine this afternoon, but our temperatures are quite cool for late April. 59, 60 for the high. Tonight, clear, cold, spotty frost away from the city. 39 for the overnight low. Wednesday, sunny and 70 in the afternoon. It's obviously a chilly start Wednesday morning. Thursday, partly sunny, showers moving back in late Thursday with a high of 68. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
I'm so tired of trickle-down economics. I never found that trickled down on top of my head very much.
There is always some type of government overspending at the heart of that kind of inflation.
And we're going to build an economy around you.
How do you get Democrats to get on offense and describe Republicans the way you and I see them, as a threat to national security?
Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The relationship you have with your financial advisor is very important, and individual relationships can't be scaled into a blanket approach for retirement planning. At Heisey Advisory Group, we believe you should work with an advisor that you have a genuine relationship with and trust. Every retirement planning firm has different beliefs on how you should prepare for retirement, and there are a lot of moving parts involved in creating a plan. There are dozens of different theories, philosophies, and systems that advisors use to describe their approaches. But in the end, the measurement of success relies a lot on the relationship you have with your advisor. Don't wait to find someone who listens and values your retirement goals and dreams. Call Heisey Advisory Group today to see if we could be the right connection to bring you to and through retirement. Call 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Business owners, would you like to get in front of more than 1,000 other business owners and decision makers in one day? How many deals and connections could you make? Grab your business cards and samples and be at the St. Louis Business Expo Tuesday, May 3rd at the St. Charles Convention Center, the largest B2B expo in the region with over 20 seminars and a massive speed networking session. Will you be one of the more than 1,000 business owners there? It's free to attend, but you gotta RSVP now at stlexpo.com. stlexpo.com.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. Anytime, anywhere. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Tuesday, and we're glad that you're here. April's almost over. Is that mind-blowing to you? It's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost Christmas.
Right, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is right around the corner.
There are going to be people who, I bet you there are people listening right now who have done Christmas shopping.
I may have done some Christmas
Yeah,
shopping.
but you don't ever not. And you just do it because you see cheap things and put them in a closet and then
That's right.
give them to people so that you can laugh at them.
Cheap no, not just to laugh at them.
Is that just what you do for me?
Yeah, that's just for you. Sometimes they're legitimately good gifts and I just have to store them until December. Same concept.
Sometimes.
Just my reaction is different. Sometimes I'm like, oh, don't you love me? Other times I'm like, ha ha ha, look at you.
But it's all about you.
Either way.
What did he give you last year, Brad?
I don't think he gave me anything.
Okay, just thought I'd
Yes,
ask.
he did. He gave me
Wait. Let's go back to the place where I looked at Ryan and he looked around like he had no idea if he did or didn't.
I don't know if I what
you did give me. You gave me two things. Sonny wrapped them for me.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have any idea, Brad.
Do you remember what it is?
No, I remember him wrapping things for you.
I still have them. I haven't finished the one yet.
So this is food? I don't remember. Is it a pizza? Because if time, it's probably time for
it's your favorite sugar-free chai tea.
Oh yeah.
You still have that?
Yeah, it's in the refrigerator here.
Is it still allowed?
Yes, I checked it.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes for a while.
It was so good. He still has them.
Clearly.
Well, I have maybe a half to a fourth of it left. So I've been drinking it, but I don't like to drink calories, and then you have to add a lot of milk to it. And so
take your time.
I am, but it's good. And then you gave me a book, and I believe it was The Man of Heaven.
Heavenly Man.
Yeah.
By Brother Yun.
Yep.
Chinese Christian brother.
Yep.
Great book.
He gave me a picture of Obama and Che Guevara on a t-shirt.
That's right. Yeah.
See, I think when I get presents like that, Annie, is when I know that I've truly been accepted by Ryan. It's like when he gives me
useless crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't know about you.
Poop
Try to win
chocolate or
your
whatever.
favor. Annie, I don't really care anymore.
I thought long and hard about what to do with that shirt. And I just kept moving it from like one place to the other because it had no home.
Mm-hmm. You should get it signed by some random celebrity that has nothing to do with Che Guevara or Obama.
Pretty sure that's how I get canceled.
Oh, okay.
Going up to a celebrity with that shirt and being like, hey, want to sign this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to.
You know, like Pete Sampras or something.
You just go up to Pete Sampras and be like, Ryan Wiggins wants you to sign this for him.
Hard pass. I do still have the poop meat.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point it would be foolish of you to eat the poop meat. It would have been fine if you had done it when I gave it to you.
Entirely different than when I first got it. And he gave me some chocolate that was in the shape of a steak and a broccoli and a strawberry that looked, the steak looks like poop. Brad, you've seen it.
Indeed.
Does it look like feces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
Make
like
you want to take a bite out of it?
No, it looks like a grumpy.
And
Looks like it's straight from Amber Heard.
And oh gosh. And then you look at the broccoli and the strawberry and they look like crayons.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Say crayons once more.
No.
Okay. I think there's 2 syllables to it is all I'm saying.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I said crayons.
All right. There it is. I like it.
I said it right the first time.
I don't know. We might have to check the tape.
I
on
know.
that, Hannah.
And she did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God bless.
I think
Seriously.
Brad just agreed with me. I'm not sure.
Huh?
Nothing. You guys are looking forward to this Christmas because I have nowhere to go but up. So look for it.
I'm getting a lot of suggestions, Brad, about what people are doing for preparedness. And I'm getting a lot of text messages from friends about what they're doing to prepare. And now I know all the right places to go. Like to Tim's for these delicious looking pickles.
It's like a post-apocalyptic shopping list.
Yeah, except I'm not going to be able to access any of it. I need to write it down on paper.
I'm going to call all of your places, the Trader Joe's and the Walmarts.
I'm going to have a shopping list, and it's going to just say Tim Pickles and Nathan canned tomatoes. And my husband's going to be like, what's going on here? Why are these people's names next to all these foods?
It's like they weren't listening to what you were saying. You said that your currency is going to be what?
Mine?
Yeah, ammunitions and guns.
Well, I also got a message from a friend that said when the SHTF, you figure it out, you can trade your guns ammo in exchange for something or keep your guns ammo to get everything. Well, that's not how it goes.
Hard wink.
Yeah, I'm not that type of girl unless I gotta be. Like, you want to take it that way, I will shoot you. Like, if you want to come try to take my things or hurt my family, that's not even, it's going to be that way. It's the way it's going to be. If you think about the soft nature of how hurt people have been on Twitter for the last 2 years. Think about how much of a departure we have had from this sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me, to the most violent thing that exists is speech that I don't agree with. And this is
Elon
on
Musk
Twitter.
just bought Twitter. That means that hate speech is going to be allowed to thrive. So I just deleted my profile, and I'm urging all of you to do the same. We need to make the hashtag boycott Twitter trend on here. It needs to become a thing because it's going to become a cesspool of hate. That's all it's going to turn into.
It's like, what Twitter have you been using previously?
Right, it's fine
like,
now.
what have you been talking about? What kind of discourse have you been participating in on Twitter for the last 10 years? It is a cesspool of hate. It's going to probably continue to be a cesspool of hate. Elon Musk is not going to fix that. But the difference is you're not always the one who gets to hate now. I know that the people on the left don't really think it's that way. They believe that it's a little bit more upside down because they're this shocked.
Twitter or Facebook or what have you. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else. And the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election. Elon Musk says this is all to help people because he is just a free speech, philosophically clear, open-minded helper.
These people are just having their minds blown right now. They're so nervous. Like, that would never happen. Oh, wait. Pause. Rewind the tape. Go back, what is it, 2022? Let's go back about 2 years from right now and see what kind of world we were living in and go, oh, yeah, it already happened. But you guys weren't behind the controls and pulling the levers every single time. And anybody on the right side of the aisle got out of line. You pulled the trap door lever and they were poof, gone. I think it's going to be a good thing that the playing field is going to be leveled, but to the distraught TikTokers reaction there, it's going to continue to be a cesspool of hate, but it's going to be a fair cesspool now.
Yeah. It's amazing how big the predictions have gotten for every event, this one included. This is the end of democracy.
It's always the end of democracy.
That's what I mean. Like the last few years.
False. It's only the end of democracy when the Democrats are not in charge, which is weird because it would actually be the end of democracy if democracy only exists if there's only one party that's allowed to be in control. That would actually, in fact, be the end of democracy, which is what Nancy Pelosi and all of the people on the left, Chuck Schumer's, the politicos, the pundits who go on all the approved narrative conveyor belt driven media outlets. The end of democracy only occurs if the Democrats don't have unilateral power.
It's interesting.
That's a good point.
Ironic.
When you listen to it, you get an understanding that they are not there to have a conversation. They are there to make sure that you go along with what they said. They've already determined in their mind that our way is the right way. Hence, if you're not doing democracy our way, you're trying to end democracy because our democracy is the only standard of democracy. And it feels like I'm out there saying, hey, I think this is a better way. And they're like, listen, stop trying to mess with stuff that's already perfect. We already know we're right. Be quiet and let's just do it our way. And it bothers me because there's no discussion happening. And I don't know that you could have a discussion with somebody that already has that mindset. It's like what is the journalistic question you were always talking about?
Why do you beat your wife?
Yeah. Why do you beat your wife? They're not asking, do you beat your wife? They've already determined that you beat your wife.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to ask, do you beat your wife? You're supposed to skip that question.
Right. And
because it's not about.
We already know that you did.
And that's such an interesting media ethics question, too, because, and I remember talking about this when I was in college, probably arguing with my professors about it. But the question, why do you beat your wife? It's a twofold thing that you need to look at from a philosophical and ethical way. Why do you beat your wife, Brad? That is a slander to you, but even more so and even more applicable to this very moment in time is it's the appropriation of the victimhood of a woman in a relationship to secure power on the accuser's end, which means that they have to identify a victim. And the only way that they can assume that power and that authority over you, Brad, because they're proving themselves right by negation. They're taking you out of the equation in order to make themselves better. And I know this, and I have a master's degree in this because I was a junior high, middle school girl. And this is what they do. It's all addition by subtraction. You see somebody, you're jealous of them. What do? You take them out. That's what you do when you're 14 and female. Probably, I don't know, boys don't do that. They're not, never mind. This is what they do. They go and they attack and they slander and they tear apart the other person because then you're the one who's left standing and you seem like the powerful entity there. But in this scenario, the why do you beat your wife, Brad? There's a necessity in order to make that equation finalize itself, which is you have to take your wife, Brad. They're using your wife and victimizing her for their own property. And when they're doing that, they don't help the abuse victims, the women that are out there at all. So you manufacture victims so that power can be retained on the opposite side. You stand on the platform of victimhood, and you never actually help the victims that you manifest and create and box in order for your own personal gain. This is what these people do all the time. It is an industry, and the way that they've been so successful at it is on places like Twitter or the mainstream media, where free speech is not allowed. And if you step up and you say, like, if you, God forbid, stand up and say something in defense of yourself, and you don't take into account the victimhood of abused women everywhere, then they ding you on that. You'll come out with an active statement that is not in support of victimized, abused women, and then you're a hate monger with your own words. And they manifest the whole thing as a spin.
Yep.
You learn it in junior high from the girls.
From the girls.
I was a victim of Mean Girls, and I too have been a mean girl. I think there's a rite of passage there. The YouTube live chat Twitter poll right now, we should remind you to go vote in that. It is, do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? We're talking Getter, Parler, Truth Social, which is not quite out there, but is crawling its way into the wide open spaces. Donald Trump's supposed to be on it maybe sometime this week. But if you're not a mobile Apple user, you won't know what he says until it gets put on Twitter. And Gab is a Twitter thing.
Gab is too, yeah.
Yeah.
Frank's speech.
You keep talking about that. You're the only I know, but you're the only person I've ever heard of even suggested that exists.
Is this your platform, Ryan?
No, that's Mike Lindell.
You should have named it Ryan's speech.
Ryan's speech.
Yeah,
run
never
off
heard of it.
Server in your bathroom.
Go vote
There's a lot
on
of
that poll and tell us what you think. When we come back, Hannah is going to do a little signs of the apocalypse, as if the regular news cycle isn't enough of a sign of the apocalypse. We're going to get some fun stories from Hannah here in a minute, and the poll results by the end of the show. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Give me one good reason why I should never make a change.
Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky from Heritage Foundation are joining all of us at 97.1 FM Talk on May 4th, and you're invited.
It's a full 97.1 event along with Heritage. May 4th, just RSVP at 971talk.com.
C.A. Jones, online at cajonesinc.com. You can be confident when you choose C.A. Jones Inc. as your home builder on the Illinois side that you are going to be working with wonderful people who are masters at their craft. When you look to build a home, whether it's a smaller home, something that you're maybe moving into after you've downsized, empty nesters, or maybe you want to have a house big enough so that when everybody comes back to visit, they have a place to stay in your home, or maybe your family is expanding. First time you're going to decide to do a home build, you need to go with C.A. Jones Inc. You're going to have a wonderful experience with them. So many other people on the Illinois side of the river already have. And if you want to learn a little bit about the homes that they build, you can do so on their website at cajonesinc.com. They provide a lifetime waterproof basement warranty and a 10-year structure warranty as well. They have the largest inventory of new construction homes for sale on that website. And they provide many of the buildable plans with modern features at an affordable cost. You can see it all right there on the website and kind of browse a little bit the home that you might like to see built for you on the Illinois side of the river with my friends at C.A. Jones. Find them online at cajonesinc.com.
With the first pick,
There's no time like the NFL Draft.
with the second pick,
Discover every angle with the BetQL network. Wake up with the latest trend lines with the Daily Tip. Get your daily source of wagertainment with You Better You Bet. And hear live nightly reactions with BetMGM tonight. From betting tips on who will land where to early season betting lines, BetQL has you covered. Gear up for the draft with expert analysis. Download the Odyssey app today to start listening.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, The power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Pineview Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Pineview Medical now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
KFTK time is
time for an $89 AC tune-up.
ChevroletKilling.com.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Away from the heat. Don't be confused. The way is clear. And if you
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We were talking about the way people use information in a tilted playing field where fairness and truth is not at all the point. It's actually the opposite of the point. We were talking about that philosophical and ethical question in journalism. If you ask if I said to Brad, why do you beat your wife? There's no way for him to really answer that question. Or as someone said on the live chat, when did you stop beating your wife? It's like an impossible question to answer without implicating yourself in some way, shape, or form. But I think it's interesting, the tie-in of that question and that discussion to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard conversation that's going on right now, because here's a man suing his ex-wife for writing an article, suing for defamation, writing an article in the Washington Post where she alleged that he abused her, and he's going, she physically was abusing me. There's not a lot of stories that come out in the open space where you see men saying, my wife physically abused me. I can think of Terry Crews as well, talked about an incident he had in an award show where he was physically, sexually abused at a party by another male who took some liberties in that arena. I'm just being very vague. And really made him feel uncomfortable about it. And he felt at first that he shouldn't talk about it because it would not be the masculine thing to do to say that you were assaulted in that way. But just the interesting thing about the male abuse that Johnny Depp has taken as the husband in that relationship, obviously from Amber Heard. I mean, it seems as though it went back and forth. I'm not really worried about either of them and the outcome of this situation. But I'm surprised that more people aren't out there. Maybe they are, and I just don't live in these circles. Like I don't watch Entertainment Tonight, but out there defending Johnny Depp for being an abused spouse.
That's all I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen a lot on the entertainment shows like you had said, but I've only seen people defending Johnny Depp. I haven't really seen it the other way.
I really feel like Team Johnny is a lot bigger than Team Amber now at this point. And I think it was before. Initially it was. Everybody was dogpiling on him whenever that she made the first initial accusations. He's a terrible person. And then when they released the video, or he released the picture of his finger that, what was it, smashed off or cut off or whatever from that bottle, people are like, well, hold on. There's something else going on here.
Apparently he burned her with a cigarette.
Jeez.
That just seems messy all around.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
This is an abusive, horrible relationship is what it was.
And completely not relatable on like you're watching these celebrities fight publicly and everybody can kind of relate to knowing some situation in your life where maybe there's been an ugly divorce or something like that. And it's sad, it's hard, it's real. But seeing them sit together in a courtroom suing each other, one for $50 million and another for $100 million, it's like just take it off the television set. You ready for Signs of the Apocalypse?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Now, Signs of the Apocalypse on the Annie Frey Show.
What do you got, Hannah?
All right, starting off, we have a 42-year-old Florida bride and her 30-year-old one caterer are accused of serving food laced with marijuana to unsuspecting guests at a wedding reception.
Whoops.
Both of them
was it on purpose?
Probably.
Yeah. The women were arrested Monday following an investigation by the county sheriff's office. According to court records, both women were charged with tampering, negligence, and delivery of marijuana and later bonded out of jail. Investigators said in an arrest affidavit. Oops. That guests began feeling ill during the February 19th event at the clubhouse.
What were they eating? What was it in? Does it say what the food was?
Chocolate covered strawberries, pudding, shot, desserts, and lasagna.
Oh my gosh.
Are these the people are these like the caterers?
The caterer and one of the people that was getting married like coordinated to have it. And they didn't tell any of the guests that it was like infused with THC.
Seems like a problem.
Yeah, it does. It seems like, do people actually get sick from edibles? I didn't know that was even a thing.
Well, if they were eating like a normal amount of like what they thought,
I'm sure you can get sick from a
dinner.
I mean, anybody could react to that differently. Maybe it's not common if you have the normal amount of THC, I guess. I don't know. But I know people who have gotten sick from it.
It's a good point, though. The difference between eating a brownie with some cannabis in it versus eating a full wedding meal that's laced with it.
A detective wrote in the report that guests said they had not been warned about the laced food. One man told deputies that he was having a hard time operating his cell phone, and others said they felt paranoid and high. That would be terrifying. That would be terrifying if all of a sudden you were sitting down and you feel, out of control and confused and paranoid. That would be horrifying.
I wonder if there were kids that were at the wedding.
I would hope not.
If you have a wedding and you have like a no kids thing or whatever, I understand a lot of people do that. But generally speaking, there might still be a kid, like a family member, niece, nephew, flower girl, so on and so forth. But bad. I would be so
very
mad.
bad. Very, very bad. All right, my next story is horrifying. A routine trip to the dentist was anything but normal after an Illinois man inhaled the dentist's drill bit and had to go to the hospital to get it removed.
Whoa!
Inhaled it.
Yes, not swallowed, inhaled.
So it went like in his lungs.
Yes, it punctured, let's see how far, 1 inch deep into his lungs.
Oh man, was it? I guess it was probably.
I wonder
still
how that
spinning as it went
actually
down.
would like detach from the tool. And I mean, it's in your mouth. So if something happened like that and it touched the back of your throat, I could see how your first reaction would be like,
he
and
coughed.
then you take it in.
That's what happened is he coughed and it just went all the way down.
So he's doing?
It didn't say. It said the bit was so deep that normal scopes couldn't reach it. Josie said he was told if that it couldn't be taken out, part of his lung would have to be removed. And then they ended up using a certain scope that they used for cancer, and they ended up getting out. He said, I was never so happy as when I opened my eyes and saw them with a smile under their masks, shaking a little plastic container with a tool in it. and he now keeps the drill bit on a shelf at home.
It's like a trophy.
I would too.
You would?
I would keep that.
I don't
drill
know
bit.
if I would ever go back to the dentist. That would be
not good for your dental health.
My
dental
dentist.
hygiene?
My dentist is my cousin, or
Mhm.
well, he's married to my cousin. That would just be awkward, but family. It's like, hey, remember that time when you dropped the
Why
drill bit?
you don't? That's why a lot of people won't practice on their family members or choose not to go to their family members that are practicing, because if something goes wrong, it's not just a medical issue; it's a family issue or a personal issue.
It wouldn't be for me. It'd just be fun.
There's a certain
If
segment of the population that is already afraid of dentists. Can you imagine after hearing that? I mean, there are probably people listening right now that are like, okay, I'll never.
They're looking over at their husband or wife like, see, see, I told
Right.
you.
I never would have thought to inhale the drill bit. That's like a new fear unlocked. I never
Right.
thought of that.
Won't happen to you at Foley Dental Group.
Right.
Just giving you that confidence. You go to Foley Dental Group.
Right. All right. My next story is that a 60-year-old man allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in Germany in order to sell forged vaccination cards with real vaccine batch numbers to people not wanting to get vaccinated themselves.
So if you have, how's that? How are they tracking that? Because if you're getting, I guess you have different names.
I guess so. What's funny is it says the suspect was not detained but is under investigation for unauthorized issuance of vaccination cards and document forgery.
I wonder what a vaccine card goes for.
Ooh,
good question.
Even now, because I mean, where do you really need them?
True.
I would say the price probably dropped now, right?
Well,
yeah, you just don't need.
But that
them
was in Germany, so it might be a different.
Yeah, maybe.
I would like to know how this man is. 19. He got 19 COVID shots.
If he's fine,
he's a superhero.
Yeah, he'll never get COVID
ever.
Not the rest of his life.
Yep, that was
We
interesting.
didn't report that Kamala Harris tested positive today from COVID-19. I hope she's asymptomatic. I hope everything is fine with her. But do we need to know all that?
I don't think so. Not anymore.
I'm over it. I mean, I will say that of anybody contracting COVID-19, Joe Biden, I want to know if he gets it more because of his age than the
Yes.
fact that he's gotten it. When Trump had it, it was like Trump death watch for 24 hours a day on some of the news channels, just watching and sitting on the edge of their seat for various reasons. If Biden gets it, you know, I would want to know that he was okay. But at the same time, like on a regular basis, people are like, Joe Biden needs to be out there on these issues and talk. I'm like, he needs to not be talking. Like, he does not go out in front of people and make me any more confident with any subsequent comment or speech or reaction to anything that's going on right now. And, you know, to think that if he were to contract COVID, Nancy Pelosi has had COVID, just recently had COVID, Kamala Harris now tested positive. She's said to have not been in close proximity due to travel schedules with the president. So I assume that they're making it seem as though he's not in any danger of contracting it. But when people are getting COVID right now, it's so interesting to me how all of these celebrity level or high profile level people are all getting COVID and they're all asymptomatic. This is a net win, people, that there are asymptomatic symptoms, obviously none coming to these people who have had vaccines and gone through the whole process and made it all the way to 2022. Now they get it and it's asymptomatic. This is a win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a win.
And why aren't we celebrating not, you know, of course, that people are getting COVID, but that we're living with COVID.
Right.
Living with COVID. 19 vaccinations in Germany.
Didn't Kamala Harris just have it not too long ago? Or is that just my mind?
I don't think
She
so.
tested positive and then she tested negative.
Okay, so it was like a false
immediately.
positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo. All right. We got one more. This is interesting to leave off on. An Idaho man regained a Guinness World Record title by balancing a chainsaw on his chin for 37 minutes and 56 seconds.
What happened at the end of that time?
Actually, he said that.
How does the story end?
He said, I was focused and I could have gone longer, but I backed into the fireplace with my legs and couldn't keep my chin
Whoa.
on the chainsaw.
Why did you
Quitter.
do it next to the fireplace?
He did that inside.
Yeah, right. That's incredible.
Like, what you doing? I'm gonna break a Guinness World Record today and just fires up the chainsaw.
It's just in the living room.
Yeah.
You guys stay in the dining room.
I feel like I want to reclaim this title.
He had the title in 2016, and he only had it on there for 3 minutes and 1 second. So from 3 minutes to 37 minutes, he made a jump. So good for that guy.
Yeah.
Even if you're gonna do it inside, maybe just don't light the fireplace. You know,
It
there's a
didn't
lot of things
say
you
it
can do
was
differently.
lit, but
Are you if you could have a chance at breaking the Guinness Book of World Record of anything, what would it be, Brad?
Oh gosh.
that's a really hard question.
No, I've thought about this.
I was
Of
just
course
saying,
you
I have
have.
a feeling that Brad and Ryan are both confident that they actually could hold the Guinness record in something.
I'm not confident that I could, but I'd like to make the longest shot of something. So like distance wise.
With a gun?
Yes. The
Oh, I
farthest
thought you meant
shot
like a
with like
basketball.
No. I mean, that'd be cool too, but Dude Perfect is amazing and I can't compete with that. So longest sniper shot of some sort.
You think you could?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, it seems like something you're sort of projecting that you could do.
Oh no, you asked if I could do anything, what would I do? That's what I would do if it was up to me. Did I
Not if you can manifest your ability to do something.
Okay. No, that was it.
Do you if you currently possess the skills to compete?
No, I don't have any skills that will be the best in the world.
I'm pretty sure if you could be the Guinness Book of World Records sniper holder, you should not be in this room right now. You should be out somewhere way more important than here. What about you, Ryan? I'm sure you've got something.
Okay, here's what I think I could do really, really well. And I don't know if I've never really put myself up to the test against other people, but I know that when I was a teenager, I could balance myself on random rafts and stuff in pools for a long, long time.
This is like what children do when they're in the pool. They're like, and then what we're going to do is we're going to compete for the Guinness Book of World Records, and then our name will be on billboards everywhere, and people will worship at our feet, and we'll get women.
That is almost a direct quote.
Yeah.
From me at
last-
about
last week.
14 years old. Yeah. And last week, hanging out with 14
We'll be bouncing on refs everywhere, and everybody will love us.
Oh.
We'll be the coolest people ever. Everybody will watch.
We are so good at this that you could literally throw anything in this pool and we could stand on it for probably at least 30 seconds.
We're going to get matching board shorts. Everybody's going to want to buy them. They're going to want to be a shorts.
Imagine if you put the rafts across the whole pool, how far do you think we could get? Because that'd be another one. I kind of want to do that.
I could see you like losing your balance and falling off and getting so mad. You'd be like, no,
That
try
didn't
it
count.
again.
You have to have good
warm-up.
balance, Hannah. You're a dancer.
I have pretty good balance, yes.
Do you have good balance?
Yeah.
Do you have good balance?
I think so.
I have good balance, but I don't have like impressive balance.
I would say between Hannah and I, we probably have a pretty impressive balanced room. No comment. Okay.
Are we going up for competition or?
I want to create a new
Yes.
category that's something about balancing in a pool. I don't know if that exists in the Guinness Book of World Records, but it
If
should.
there's balancing chainsaw on your chin, I think there's probably something with a raft.
That's right.
You just got to call them up and recommend it. They're like,
Yeah.
we'll send a rep out.
I do think that's the way it works.
Anybody can hold the Guinness record for anything if it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Ooh, show challenge?
I'm out, but
Okay.
all right, let's take a quick break. We'll get the results to the YouTube live chat poll on the Andy Fry YouTube challenge channel, I should say. Do alternative to Twitter platforms last more than 12 months from now? We'll get your thoughts and feedback here in just a minute with Hannah. Stick around, more Andy Fry Show in a minute.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
I really believe that you could make a case for this being, if not the best, but one of the three best offenses the Blues have ever assembled.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Closet Factory, your go-to place for customized, unique organization to your specific needs. The Closet Factory came into my house and helped us get our upstairs in order. Adding another person to the family, of course, we needed to figure out where we're going to put that person's things. And, you know, babies come with a lot of things. Well, they don't come with it, but you got to accumulate quite a lot of things. The Closet Factory came in and looked at our scenario and gave us several options, and what we finally landed on, it was perfect for our family. We also worked on our laundry room, and I use the term room very loosely because it's like a closet on the second floor where our bedrooms are, and the closet was not adequate for housing dirty clothes like you would put in a laundry room when you're sorting it and you've got 6 people living in the house. They reorganized, reconfigured the closet area for us and gave us storage space and really helped us manage the organization of our upstairs. They can do the same thing for you, whether it's your office space, a spare bedroom that you don't use the bed in there very often anymore. They can put a wall bed in and then turn that bedroom into something that you can use on a regular basis. Garage storage, basement storage, the whole thing. Reach out to them online at closetfactory.com.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase Wet and Forget in-store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you: printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Take a moment and rate your lifestyle on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is a life that's nothing like the life you were promised after getting good grades, a college degree, and a good job in corporate America. 10 is the life of your dreams. If you answered anything less than a 10, tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Tune in to the Del Walmsley Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7 on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for warmer weather with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. For details and to get in your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Go where the man says rain today.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Blues fan on YouTube says the world record for balancing on a pool raft is 4 minutes, 36.16 seconds. You got this, Ryan. I need to know if that's facts or if you're just making that up, because if it's real, if there's really a record for that, we're going to try to break it at my parents' pool.
Darn right we are. We're going to break it.
Hey, Mom and Dad. When are you opening the pool?
Do you guys have to be there, or can I just show up at your parents'?
No, I mean, you can do what you want if you need to practice. But it would be great. You should do it like when they take the cover off before they like clean it.
Oh, this is getting outside the territory
No,
of
it's
the record.
motivation.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want to fall in
Motivation.
that.
You're not going to fall in the water. You're going to balance.
Eventually, even if it's after 4 minutes and 36 seconds, I will fall in the water
You
at
don't
some
have
point.
to. You're going to sit there. You don't want to just beat the record. You want to like set it. You want to make it insurmountable.
If you guys want to throw a tightrope across the thing,
we will.
I'm still not going to do it in your algae pool. No, I'm not doing it in that pool. You clean that pool, then I'll do it.
It's clean. It's been covered all off season.
Oh, okay, well, if you say so, then I'm sure
It'd be
it's fine.
super cold.
Algae pool.
Can you imagine going and doing it right now? How cold it's been? It would be horrible. And this should be the time where you're starting to think about doing
For
it.
you, it'd be awesome.
Yes.
I do think that, when my parents tell me when the pool opens, I put it on my calendar and it's Sunday.
This Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
It's too early.
Mm-mm.
It is too early. No, you have that look in your eye that says, I am lying.
No, look, Hannah. What does that say? May 1st in pink.
Pool with an exclamation mark.
She was doing something during the break. She
Boom.
might have just added that.
No. Mom and Dad, call in the show right now and tell Ryan he's wrong. Not you, Dad, because you like Ryan. Mom, call the
Oh, I just learned that Annie's mom hates me today.
show. It's funny that that's what you heard in that sentence right there.
I just assume everybody likes me. But when I learn otherwise, I get kind of sad.
Well, there's nobody in my life that likes to needle me more than my dad.
Okay. So he likes that I needle you. So he likes me.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
He knows that if he wants to, like, I'm preparing Easter dinner for the whole family, and by that I mean Jared's doing most of it, and I baked earlier in the day, that he'll be like, "What would Brian think about this?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
Really? You guys do WWRT? What would Ryan think? You guys should get bracelets.
We guys don't do that. No. My dad said it like twice, and it was at least 2 times too many.
That's great. By the way, we're going to need to know more about this record before I do it. For instance, are we talking about standing on a kickboard / boogie board? Or are we talking about standing on a traditional pool raft or a donut or something like that? Because that makes a big difference. I think I could do 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
Hey, Brad, do you
on a
notice how
donut.
he's like all of a sudden creating all these
he's
stipulations?
hedging
and-
bets and
Yeah.
whatnot.
I'm sorry, guys. That's where that's not legitimate. in
Because
my book.
when he first saw that, do you remember what he said? I could do that. He didn't have any
great
Yeah.
confidence.
Yes.
No arrogance.
I still think I can do that. I have not backed off of that.
I don't think you can do it for more than 60 seconds.
Ooh, is that where we're dropping the gauntlet?
What are you balancing on?
It depends. It depends on what we're using. Well, what? I don't know. I'm not going to go to buy a raft. It's
Brian,
he's using
Brian,
whatever's
stop,
there.
No, stop doing your thing. Answer this question. It is the question that only you have the answer to.
I'm listening.
What do you want to balance on? What can you balance on forever?
A circular donut raft.
Concrete. A circular donut raft?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
An inner tube?
An inner tube.
Only Ryan would call it a donut
Is that
wrap.
the PC word name now for an inner tube?
Yeah, it's changed a little in 20
Did
years.
you hear what
Annie.
Annie said? She called it an inner tube, not a
so
circular donut.
so
Oh my
insensitive.
The inner tube makers of United States of America are incensed right
Or
now.
what we could do is we could get it as a donut raft, and we could see if we could get some bakery to sponsor it, or maybe Emo's has something circular. Yesterday we were talking about Emo's on the show, and Emo showed up in a big way with a ton of food for us yesterday, and we were super grateful for it. So
Yes.
hopefully you guys
That
all
was
went out and got
awesome.
Emo's. And we're going to be having Emo's a couple of times here. They gave us some gift cards so we can order it. So we will be talking more about Emo's because we all love it. And it's like go-to stuff with great cheese. So they have donut holes, but not donuts.
At Emo's?
At Emo's?
Don't they have like cinnamon song? Why do you guys not know these things?
Because I don't do dessert.
I
I
do,
wouldn't-
but I just didn't know
if you're
Emo's
thinking
had
of
them.
like a cinnamon twist or something,
Emo's.
I wouldn't consider that a donut.
No, it's not. It's like a cinnamon
I know what you're talking about. It's those like little cream-filled cinnamon things that Taco Bell has.
donuts.
Cinna Delights?
Yeah, those things. Those things are fantastic, by the way. Have you ever had those, Brad?
My wife has.
Okay.
I don't do
Cinnamos.
dessert.
Cinnamos.
Cinnamos.
That makes sense.
Ooh,
Bread
okay.
bites coated with cinnamon and sugar icing. Sounds awful.
Oh yeah, especially if they would come in a box that's just like filled with butter. That would be terrible.
So it's not quite like the Taco Bell. I wouldn't
Not
call
quite
these.
those things.
These are maybe a pastry. I don't know what it is. It's a cinnamon bread thing.
To answer your question, I cannot stand on a bunch of Cinnamos in your pool.
So, but if Emos wants to send them, we'll try.
I mean.
So if it's a inner tube / for the people who don't understand that language, a circular donut raft.
Yes, or an inner tube, as you might
A
say.
CDR.
Yeah, a CDR. A CDR. Yeah, give me a standard CDR for this.
If there's a bakery or another circular shaped food business that would like to sponsor
Like a
it
pizza, for instance,
with a hole in the middle.
with a whole pizza.
Yeah.
HOLE pizza.
We got to do the poll.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
to. We're running out of
YouTube
time.
poll.
Yeah.
The question
Find
is
us on Facebook. Sponsor. You can sponsor the poll too. You can sponsor whatever
I'll
you
stand
want.
on anything in a pool.
AndyFryShow@gmail.com. If you want to sponsor the show, we'll blow everything out for you. Yeah. We'll make
If you want it on my feet, you contact Annie.
Do alternative to Twitter platforms
throw
last more than 12 months from now? Yes or no? With 85 votes, 58% of our listeners voted yes. That there are 58 voted yes.
Wow.
The alternative Twitter platforms will last longer than 12 months, and 42% of the people said no.
That's a
they will
high
not
no
last.
from what I thought it would be. Interesting.
Some people have said, Diane on YouTube said, what happens to other social platforms depends on what Musk actually does about free speech on Twitter.
True.
G-Wibs from YouTube says, all Twitters will continue. Libs may even try to create their own or take over one of the others.
You go do that. You
Brad-
guys go collect
enjoy.
over there.
Do what we've
Bye.
been trying to do.
Brad from YouTube says the other platforms will still be in a year. It's not like they are CNN Plus.
You know, Brad, you can just talk here. You don't have to go on the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. I'll do that next time.
Brad Williams, for those of you who are confuzzled.
Those sites are not going to go away, though. They're just going to
Some of them
MySpace
are, I
out.
bet.
They'll exist forever, and nobody will use them.
When I answered it, I said that I didn't think any of them would exist in a meaningful way. So
Yeah.
I said no.
So no. Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe one stays for the fringe, right? But I don't know. All right, Mark Reardon Show coming up next. Check our podcast on the Odyssey app. And if you're streaming us here, stick around. The Mark Reardon Show's next.
It's great to have a home base for all of your dental work, and Fountains Family Dentistry can be that home base for you. It is for me. This is Ryan.